Hypocrisy.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Law-Splaining the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Recato of Recato Law, small law firm in central Minnesota. And I'm getting a breaking report.
I am not suicidal. That's what I was about to say. Okay. I am not suicidal. Okay? I am not suicidal. I am innocent, and I am not suicidal. And I am not suicidal. And if anything happens to me when I go in there, I did not do it to myself. And you must all know that. I am not suicidal. Okay. I doubt it.
Okay, there we go. There we go. I am not suicidal. I am not suicidal. Comparable in quality to the speechifying speechery of Martin Luther King. This will go down in history right next to I Have a Dream. But this is obviously superior in every single way. When given his one chance to speak to the entire world about this, he chose to say, I am not suicidal. So there you go. There you go. Okay. We are, it's warm in here today. You looked for me to watch this. I was on Nate the Lawyer's channel. I posted it on Locals, tweeted about it. I don't know what to tell you. I couldn't, I had to be on Nate's stream at the end. In the end, I wouldn't have been able to stay through the sentencing because it took so freaking long. Sentencing hearings are not long hearings, like an hour, something like that. And, you know, they're just not that long. They don't take that long, except today when it took 5 hours to go through the sentencing of Juicy Smollett. So that was crazy. Here's the interesting thing about that. I love when people say, I'm not suicidal, whatever. How does anybody know? And 2, you're not suicidal now, but you're also not in prison yet. When you get to prison, you might change your mind. I don't know. People are often not suicidal until they are. Something goes wrong. They have a bad date. They eat Rice Krispies without sugar on it. I don't know. And then you're like, oh God, it's mushy and it's not sweet at all. It just tastes awful. And then the next thing you know, Remington gets a lawsuit. Okay. Well, we're going to watch the judge's speech because the judge had some words for Juicy. Where I'm not going to make you watch all 5 hours of the sentencing hearing or any nonsense like that. But we are going to watch the judge's soliloquy to Jussie about how he's a liar and a piece of shit and a garbage heap and all of that stuff. It's good stuff. No, I'm not drinking Shasta. I'm drinking Squirt. Mandy Karavichis, I try not to be one of those guys that talks about all the male rape that's going to happen in prison. I don't know. That's what a lot of people are talking about. Oh, he'll be a little hors d'oeuvre for the inmates or whatever. Oh, maybe he'll make a friend. I don't know. Who knows what he's going to do? But he's going to have, it's five months ish in county lockup, which people will tell you is quite a bit different than prison, and in some ways better, in some ways worse than prison. You know, he's not going to be in Gen Pop prison. He's going to be in county, which is a little more isolated a lot of times from other people. So he might not have any the same types. Excuse me. He might not have the same types of issues. I've chosen to join No Balls Gang. Balls Gang would subject the entire the chat to the entire 5 hours. Most of it was terrible. I mean, most of that hearing was really boring. As you kind of expect. Let's see. I'll show you the highlight of the hearing. Let's see. Can I find it? That's a bad face. Come on. They got to have a better picture. See if I can get it here. See if I can pull one of these up. The highlight of the day, in my opinion, was Jussie Smollett's lawyer, Tina Glandian's hair wave, which was fantastic. I don't know if I've got an easy picture of it. But it just stayed. The amount of hairspray that had to be involved in this hair wave staying where it was is really, it's hard to imagine. Well, maybe. Here, we'll. Oh no, it's Law and Crimes. Feed, I don't want to watch the whole thing. We just need the entrance. Here we go. Oh, we can fix this. We need to do it. Bam. Okay, here we go. Here she is. Over here. Wait, we got low res? No. Not much better. Look at her hair. It's phenomenal. Look at this stuff. Look at that. Look at that hair bounce. That's a Pantene Pro V, a mousse with Pro Vitamins commercial. Look at this shit. Look at that. Watch it come in. And it stays in the exact same spot. I marvel at that hair. It was that was very, very impressive. This is the best part of the whole thing. Once she started talking, it was over, though, because she didn't stop for hours and hours and hours. It was not good. It was not good. And her arguments were not good either. It was really boring. Actually, she had a couple okay arguments, but they're okay until you get down to like the realities behind the arguments. Oh, I'm going to do a sneezing ASMR stream. A lot of man's money was spent on that hair and looks or whatever. I mean, she's a very high paid attorney, so it might be a lot of her money too. But yeah, so some of her arguments seemed okay at the onset until you realize like what she was arguing only sounds good until it's opposed. And then it's like, oh, well, yeah. Or until you like look at the law or look at how the law is applied or realize that the judge has already ruled on these issues and found them to be ridiculous and stuff like that. So Anyway, we're going to talk a lot more about this in a minute. We're not going to watch her boring video. We'll take a, like I said, we'll take a listen to what the judge had to say to Jussie. That's going to be a topic today. Then I'm going to tell you about a man who gamer worded so hard that he died. That's right. He's like, bam, dead. And this is a fair warning to everybody out there on Odyssey who may be thinking about dropping racial slurs. You never know. One too many N-words and God turns you off. Just turns you off, light switch. You're done. Game over. Like Ananias in the Bible, right? Nah, we were going to give our possessions away. Dies like Switch in the Matrix. Not like this. Best death in the Matrix, by the way. Everybody wanted Switch to die. Oh, I see everybody on Odyssey is suicidal. Good job, guys. So we'll talk about that. And then Melinda Scott has some updates in her case against Janny Juish. Jewish. Some small updates that won't take too long. We'll talk about that. And then, wherever else the night may take us, I don't know. I haven't read the chats yet. I'm sure there's something else to talk about too. But I want to talk about what's coming up tomorrow. Eric July, the slayer of commies, the libertarian champion, is going to be on the show live. We're going to have a good chat with Eric. We're going to talk about his recent battle axe wielding verbal slayage of people like the amazing Lucas, of whatchamacallit, some fat guy whose name I don't even know, Jody. It's a woman's name. What's his name? Who did he just debate and just demolish other than Amazing Lucas? Jody, okay. And I think he did another one. I think he had a third debate in the past week. Also, Jody's a woman's name. So we're going to just have a good time with Eric. I got to meet him when I was down in Dallas for the You Are Here show. He's a very cool dude. He's a married man. He's got some ideas about freedom. He's starting his own company. He runs a successful YouTube show. I mean, what more could you want out of someone than that? So we're going to have Eric July on tomorrow night. We are going to have next week, either Monday or Tuesday, just trying to figure out what day works best. Author, gun enthusiast, libertarian, I think, Larry Correia will be on as well. So Larry Correia and I, we're going to be talking about that creative experience, escapism, how important it is. We're going to talk about guns. We're going to talk about freedom. It's time to get some fucking positivity on this show because we got too much black pilling going on lately. So we're going to have some freedom pills talking about personal accountability, personal responsibility, and personal growth and profit with Eric July and Larry Correia. And that's just the start. Who knows what else is coming next week? But I'm in a mood to start booking some interviews with people I have not talked to and with some people I have talked to before. And we got to get some positivity and good vibes going out there. I know a lot of people get tired of hearing the bad news all the time. And of course, the news media is all bad news. It's easy to get wrapped up in because it's easy to talk about when things are shit, right? It's easy to do that. It's easy to say, these fucking bastards just can't cut my bread right. They can't do it. You want to know? You know about Jussie, right? Jussie was at Subway getting a tuna sandwich, as if that man has a taste for tuna. Right. More like roast beef. No, more like a hot dog. Maybe a meatball sub, probably. But you know what happened? The Nigerians come up and they're like, look at this. We're going to take this brother sandwich. And then they opened up the sandwich. What did they find? Bread fucking taco. They found a normal cut. And they're like, no. They threw the sandwich back at him. They put a noose on him, kicked his ass, said, this is MAGA country. And then they went back to Nigeria where they know how to cut sandwiches. That's what happened. Jussie's innocent. That's what you get for going to Subway, you bitch. I went to Subway today in solidarity with the Nigerians as well. I did do that. Like I got to alternate between Subway and Jimmy John's. I will report I had a successful completion of 4 chicken strips today. Terrible idea. Absolutely awful idea. The first 2 chicken strips were okay. The third one was kind of sus. Fourth one was terrible, but you power through because you're hungry. And then my stomach was a disaster. Hated every second of it. So there you go. But we're working on it. I'm working on eating the food that I like again. It's tough. It's a hard gig. It's hard out here for YouTubers. It's hard out here. We're working in these streets. We're working on all this low wages. We're working with no appreciation, no love. And all we got is Subways and Jimmy John's. That's it. We're just out here working, scrounging up enough for a foot long when we can get one. So that's the grift we've got going right now. I know people are looking for the next trial to start. I'm looking for the next trial as well. If you have suggestions, let me know. It's got to be soon. It's got to be televised. That's the rub of finding a trial. Hopefully it's interesting. I'm not going to jump into Dr. Husel. I'm checking on, I want to do Johnny Depp trial. I really do. That's in April. I think it starts April 10th. So getting ready for that. I know Legal Bites is going to be streaming Johnny Depp. So there's some discussion to be had there. And then the other thing about it is it's 6 weeks. And I got to check on the dumpster defenders because we got to see what's going on with the dumpster defenders. And this is reminding me that I need to check what's happening with Mercedes Carrera. Smith, Melinda. Checking right now. Nerdrotic is live with 600 people, and here you are with 1.5K. With the 3,200 people here, but I have a feeling Gary's going to do just fine tonight. Just fine. He's a streaming monster. Big numbers, big streams. Solid dude. Monkey Man 04, thank you for reminding me. No, there's no Vic news tonight. Wait a minute. This is not what I was looking for. There's no Vic news tonight. Yet another week has gone by without an update in the Vic case. Here we go. Was it in Cuyahoga County? Rancho Cucamonga. That's it. There we go. Gosh, it's hard to find this fucking case sometimes. I'd invite Nerdrotic back on soon. 100%. Absolutely. I need to have Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers on. I don't know if he's ever been on my show, or maybe he was on once. It's been a long time if he was. I can't remember. I know I've been on his show a couple times. So it's hard for me to remember if he's come on mine. But there's so many people to talk to. And I'm just really bad at scheduling, interviews and stuff like that. It takes work. Okay. Well, are you fucking kidding me? So I've been waiting on a girl like you to get what you deserve. Talking about Mercedes Carrera. Are you guys familiar with Mercedes Carrera? Let me scratch that. I know the men are. Women out there, are you familiar with Mercedes Carrera? Mercedes Carrera is a porn star who I think the category of what she would I think it would go under the MILF category, which is weird. Like the MILF category honestly just means a woman who's 26. That's how the porn it's like that's it. There's no mom involved in 90% of these unless you count abortions. But Mercedes Carrera was a porn star for a while, and she has been awaiting trial since 2019. I think February 5th of 2019. Biggie Baggy Venus says she's a sex worker that latched on to Gamergay, which is true. She went around on the Gamergate talk show circuit. She was based in Red Pilled, and everybody loved her. Turns out she might be a child rapist. I mean, just that, though. Just that. She has been awaiting trial, and I have been awaiting trial since February of 2019 to see what happens here. So she has a pretrial hearing set for 8:30 a.m. on March 25th. However, it says disposition reset time waived to... Oh, wait, no. That's dispositive motion has been reset to May 24th. Okay, that's fine. So she is awaiting trial, and she's got a pretrial motion set. Now, people out there have been a little bit propagandized on Melinda. Her name's Melinda Smith, Mercedes Carrera, for various reasons. There's not many people talking about her case. She's done some jailhouse interviews with the weirdo. I've thought about playing them. I might at some point do it, but the audio is really bad. But anyway, because she's on a jail phone, right? Talking about how she's a victim and all this stuff. And maybe she is. I don't know. But people are like, oh, she's been awaiting trial for 3 years now. Calm down. This is not the slow wheels of justice grinding poor Melinda into the dirt. Melinda has requested almost every continuance in this trial. There was a COVID delay for sure, but both before and after the COVID delays, Melinda was making motions for extensions of time and continuances. She is not being held in prison unjustly against her will. I mean, she is being held because she can't make the $2 million bond. However, this is not because she's flat fucking broke. But this is not a case where like the state is surreptitiously holding her in jail in lieu of a trial, even though she's innocent. I mean, she's got a very tough case ahead of her, and she knows it. She's been asking for tons of continuances. Corbin Bush says 2 million. Oh, she fucked up. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the charges are child rape. Multiple instances. So, but anyway, just letting you guys know, I am monitoring that case. I doubt that's going to be televised because it involves a minor. So they're going to be really interested in protecting the privacy of the minor and all that stuff. So I don't think it's going to be televised, but I am watching for updates in that to see how it goes. Is there a schedule of trials to be online and where? Not that I know of. Yeah. Have you looked into the Ryan Duke and Bo Duke trial? It just started. Nope. No idea who that is. So anyway, watching for Mercedes Carrera. Yeah, I'm rooting for her. Oh, you know what? I've never looked through Boogie's video. Should we watch Boogie's video tonight too? See what happened with Boogie's lawsuit or his criminal charges or his hearing? I don't know. Something happened the other day, and I think Boogie put a video out on it. I was gonna do a short video about his Frank Hassel shirt, and then I just got busy and couldn't do it. So let's see. We'll maybe do that in a minute. Roscoe says, Your Honor, I believe Juicy's intake search will be the first time he hasn't enjoyed a man looking in his backside since that uncle as a child. Okay. All right. Ona Wall says a jury set for May 2nd in the case against Michael Miller. His father's trial is scheduled for August 1st. Michael Miller is a dumpster defender. May 2nd, that's going to run against. See, that's going to run against fucking Johnny Depp. I'm gonna have to think. I can't believe he's going to run his in May and the other one in August. Wolfgang Deo says, did you know we rely on Russia for fertilizer? No, I don't pay attention to what we rely on Russia for. Bad Weather Biker says, late you were sentenced to say 69 Hale John Goldmans and required to self-copulate with a cactus. Ouch. Ouch. Gates of Above says, bad day, something goes wrong, and you end up offing yourself with 2 shots to the back of your head. Clinton. Sorry, just kidding. They're not taking me away yet. Lil Meme, my brother friend. I think he means my brother's friend, not my brother friend. Got convicted of double murder or something from killing 2 friends in a car crash. He did his trial, was found guilty, and did the suicides the next day. Was only in his mid-20s, worked for Amazon as a head tech. Well, yeah, I mean, you're gone forever when you do that. Cain Velasquez case is going to take forever to come to trial. Cain Velasquez is an attempted murder case, high profile, highly charged. There's a pending case against one of the victims. That thing's going to get delayed. There's no way that thing goes to trial in the next couple weeks. I mean, Cain Velasquez case is going to be a year out, probably at least. And they're going to have a tough time with that jury. Because Cain will be able to bring in the state of mind of the victim or the prior acts of the victim because it's going to be very relevant to Cain Velasquez's state of mind. So they're going to say, like, they're going to be up there. This guy's a kid toucher and he touched Cain's kid. Cain was enraged. He's got an imperfect self-defense claim, if not a perfect, if not a regular defense of others or whatever claim. So Cain's got a tough case. He's going to really regret missing. Because if he had killed him, at least he would have gotten him while he goes to prison. I think Cain's going to have real trouble with all this. Let's see. Brian Wilson says, defense, Jussie forfeited the $10,000, which was not required. Also the defense, Jussie was required to forfeit the $10,000. Yeah. Yep. The defense in this case was I mean, they were very high paid and they were very well prepped and they went a very long time, but their arguments today were not convincing. VSync says, unironical thoughts and prayers. Housing assistance denied for fraud after told it was paid. Denial facially, farcically defective, but no hearing available. Have new job, but pay not soon enough. My last $20, end of my rope. Why would you give it to me? No. Damn it. VSync, I would refund it if I can, man. Charge it back. Don't give me your last $20. This is going to pass. See if you can get an extension. See if you can find a lawyer. Like there are lawyers who specialize in taking on government assistance claims. There are Social Security guys and stuff like that. And they know, like, they recover their fees from the administration or the administrative branches that screw up. So they know you can't pay. Search around, man. Search around. There's someone who can help you. And they work fast. You can do it. Mandy Karavich says, Judge Ricada, please don't punish my client C. Goody too harshly for buying me the $4,000 Louis Vuitton purse. Please consider his dedicated service to your channel and sentence him fairly based upon that. Don't be a bigot. Goody, if you bought that handbag, I will mock you for the rest of your life. And it'll probably be a short life because you'll do something stupid to get yourself killed. Moranin says, DA just dropped murder charges against that fake Antifa security guard Matthew Doloff, who shot and killed Trump supporter who maced him. It's a very even justice system in the world. What are you guys talking about? It's the same for everybody. The Squid says, I normally like to tell jokes in the supers, but I like to take a moment of prayers and a toast to the most wholesome educator on YouTube, Anton Petrov. He just lost his son to SIDS. Most heartbreaking thing I've heard. Wait, is that the math? The guy who does... Is this who I think it is? Oh, no, I'm thinking of someone completely different, I think. Yeah. No, wait, this is him. Oh, that sucks. Damn it. I like that guy. I mean, it sucks no matter who it is, but shit. Here, well... We'll have a moment for Anton. I mean, dude. To Anton's son, who passed away from SIDS, and to the end of the blight that is sudden infant death syndrome, one of the most heartbreaking, unexpected, unpreventable occurrences that can happen to anybody. The joy of a newborn and a new life and new possibilities and prospects being snuffed out by an unknown, silent, and unstoppable killer is, I don't know how a parent would deal with that. And my heart goes out to him, man. That's... That's fucking awful. Yeah. His video is just titled, My Infant Son Died, Taking Some Time Off to Heal, and there's no thumbnail. That's exactly how you'd feel. I mean, that's exactly it. Like, broken, shocked, fuck the world. Ugh. Oh gosh. That's rough, man. Whew. See, Goody says, Nick, what was Mandy going to hold my balls in if I didn't buy her that $4,000 purse? Hashtag worth it. Well, I'm sure she'll buy you a $38 chastity cage for the dick that's left behind shriveled. So that's good. Rogue Accountant says, God bless Neil Apollo, Anton's 3-month-old son. Hmm. Hmm. Dude. Okay. Let's do God. Man, I'm all thrown off. I'm thrown off by Anton there. Oh, he says his legal issues are finally over. Okay, I gotta know. I gotta know what happened to Boogie. I'm sorry, I gotta know. We'll get to Jussie in a minute, but this is important. Look, my wife and I've been open about this and stuff. We had 3 miscarriages before we were able to have a baby. And they were all early on. They're all very early on in the pregnancy, but it was still, I mean, it was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. Even the potential of life. I mean, we're talking very fresh after the first pregnancy tests on 2 of them. I think actually the first miscarriage was a little farther along. I don't remember the exact days, but you know who does? Lady Rackets, because that doesn't go away. You don't just get over that. Like it's with you forever type thing. And that was just like, that's life, right? There's a life there. You know it intuitively. You're like, okay, well, there's a baby brewing, right? But it's not the same as when you can hold them. They're crying and laughing or whatever, smiling, making noises, moving around. So I just, God, man, that is, my heart's out to that dude. Really. Actual heartfelt. Oh, goodness gracious. We need Anton Petrov to come back. We need Anton to come back as soon as possible, however, because we have an astronomical body with a large gravitational pull that needs to be explained on the screen right now. Boogie has lost weight. Yes, he is actually down from his prior weight. And hats off to him for that. Still fat, but less fat. And hopefully he keeps improving on that. Needs to get healthier. That way, the next time Frank comes, Boogie just kick his ass. Yeah, because he's fit. Fit guys. They kick ass and they fuck all the time. That's right. Yeah, get fit. Go Boogie. Okay, here we go. Let's see what Boogie's saying about his legal issues here.
Well, it is finally over. I literally just left the courthouse. I've gotten home, sat down, and I'm ready to talk to you about everything.
Everything.
All of the things I've not been able to say for the last couple of years. And I'm going to ask 2 huge favors of you.
No favors.
First of which is, if you haven't watched one of my recent videos, I'm going to put a playlist down below. I would really appreciate it if you would check out some of my recent videos.
Please. My legal defense is really expensive.
It's likely you haven't seen one of my videos in your feed for quite some time, and maybe you'll like what you see. And secondly, I'm going to ask you to make it all the way to the end of this video. This might likely be the very last video of mine you'll ever watch, and I would like it if you heard everything I had to say.
Okay, I don't know what the outcome is. No spoilers. I don't know what the outcome of this is. Let me just say this. I've been rooting for Boogie in secret. I told him this. the other day. I told Boogie, I said, I'm rooting for you. Although I think technically this is already done. I didn't know. But I told him the other day, I'm rooting for you. And here's why. I think Boogie absolutely commit a crime. I do. I also think that Frank Hassel is an asshole. And Frank, I think, knows that. He was on the show to talk about the situation. But the whole situation was so fucking funny that I think the gods of comedy need to intervene. And Boogie should go free. Like, it should just end. Boogie should be free or whatever. I think he's very guilty of a crime. I think he made all the bad choices, all the wrong choices. I think that's all true. But it was very funny. And we got so much entertainment out of it that I think that it's justified if the comedy god comes in and goes like, you know what? Bloop, not guilty. Like, I'm good with it. So I don't know what happens. But I wanted to say that prior to any, because I didn't want people to think, oh, well, now you're saying that. No, I have that. I sent it to Boogie. You can ask him if you want. I'm just kidding. Don't ask him. That'd be weird. But I did send that to him the other day when this whole issue with the shirts and stuff was popping off. I said, hey, man, I'm rooting for you because I thought this was too funny for you to go to jail. So we'll see what happens.
So please bear with me and let me get all this out. Secondly, let me point out just
You
how
edited it.
expensive all of this was. And obviously, I took money out of my bank account and I
Okay.
paid here tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
But I was
thing.
advised by everyone to lay low, to live
He better lay low.
stream less, to make less YouTube videos.
This is the bad advice, in my opinion, of everybody out there. Look, if you got a platform, use the platform. Use the platform well. If the platform is your income and you're paying for legal defense, live stream more, crowdfund the shit out of it, source. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm not Boogie's lawyer. I can't do it. But these people who are like, yeah, you better not talk. You better not lay low. Lay low. Where's Nate Dogg? Why did he die? Gone too soon. In my opinion, I think that is old, outmoded thoughts. I think that is not how things are done or should be done in the world of social media. I think you should absolutely carefully and smartly be public with your thing. And if nothing else, even if you're not talking about the trial specifically or talking about the things, you go on, you do your live stream, you say, hey guys, I just wanted to remind you, I can't talk much about it, but I've got this legal issue because of my interaction with Frank Hassel, in which, I think I acted in a justifiable way because I was very scared, but I've got this thing. Here's my GoFundMe. Or, if you just want to help out by watching some of my videos, I'd really appreciate that because it's very expensive to fight against this. And I'm a victim here. Just do that and then go do your live stream and don't talk about it anymore. Something like that, a prepared sort of intro or a prepared thing to address that, even a pre-recorded one. So you say the same thing every time and you just click it on StreamYard, let me see if I have an example. What example do I have? Like, you could just do something like this. See? Something that you could just click on, it'll play, and then you do your live stream. That's me. That's my opinion. I think that social media has changed the world, and I know the legal profession is always a decade or 2 decades behind this shit. And we see it, right? We see it in a lot of these things. You see it in the PR response that everybody on social media ever has. It's always a PR response from 1995. Like, oh, I'm very sorry, and now I found Jesus. Look at Jack Murphy's PR response. It's garbage, in my opinion. Oh, I went away for 8 weeks, and then I came back Jesus pilled. Fuck off. You and everybody else who's ever been in trouble. Hi, went to rehab. Now I'm good. Give me pills. Stop it. Just keep going. Power through. Okay, I'm talking too much.
To say less things that could be taken out of context and used against me before we had a result, because from Reddit and 4chan that's what they like to do to me. So I laid low for years. For almost 2 years. I barely made.
He better lay low.
Many videos I barely live streamed. I planned to hit it running, but that cost me a small fortune and lost wages and lost ad revenue as well. So if at any point you have felt that maybe I got wronged in this situation and you want me to just help recoup that loss, you can become a channel member here by clicking the member button down below. You can subscribe to me on Twitch for $5 a month. I do have a Patreon, though I barely use it, but you can go throw $1 at me there. Or more importantly, you can buy these meme t-shirts that I had built up. The link is going to be down below. I'll throw the link.
What's up, Drex? I see you in the chat, man. How you doing, buddy? Oh. Salty Balls, you said Jack had no sense of humor tonight on his live stream. Jack did a live stream tonight. He's out here in this world doing it. Too bad. Is he banning people? What's up? I'm wondering. Let me know what's going on
Up here as well. They're pretty cool. I like these t-shirts. My t-shirts are on the way.
Oh, wait, real quick.
Well,
this t-shirt right here. This is funny. This is almost guaranteed to be copyright infringement. Not that I think Frank not that I think Frank would enforce on it, but he took this image from his video. This is what I was going to do a video about. You don't own your own face, body, whatever. You don't have a copyright interest in those things. You have other interests that might work. The right of publicity, stuff like that. But the right of publicity is about advertising. It's about, the right of publicity is about saying, I'm endorsing a product. So if someone took a picture of me and was like, Nick Rekieta approves of this 100%, that would be violating my right of publicity. It wouldn't be violating my copyright. So I don't have a copyright in this face. I didn't craft it. God did, right? Now there's an argument somewhere. I'm not aware of successful cases on this, but there's certainly an argument that your image is a persona that you have created, cultivated, and crafted. I talked a lot about this when I covered the, who is that weird chick that was famous for a minute? The Mars Argo and Poppy lawsuit. That whole thing, this idea that like some of these people have such an artistically derived persona. Lady Gaga, for example, she designs these elaborate outfits. Well, I don't know if she designs them, but somebody designs these elaborate outfits and she has a cultivated and tailored image. Marilyn Manson with with his face and stuff like that. Maybe they could argue there's a copyright interest there. Maybe. That's still a stretch. Boogie doesn't have any of that going on. This is probably copyright infringement, but that's funny too. Now, Boogie says he transformed it. You can see that they've cropped the image from the original. There may be some other alterations in there. I'm not fully aware of what all was done to it, but I don't know if it's transformative enough. And that's a question. Just an interesting legal exercise. Cause like I said, I don't know if Frank's like doing anything. Come on, Boogie, get to the point.
One, and the money is going to go to two major causes. The first of which is paying myself back for all the ridiculous amount of legal fees that I spent here. And 10% of every sale is going to Ukrainian relief, though we haven't picked the charity just yet.
Why are you giving money to Ukraine? Boogie, support you, man. Ukraine is fine. They're fine. You got real fucking problems, man. You got legal fees that have to number well into the 5 digits, if not approaching 6. Come on, man. Don't give 10% to Ukraine. Don't give 10% to Russia. Like this is your time. It's yours.
Obviously, I'll show the receipts on Twitter when the time comes. I should
God
also say that those shirts are probably going to be very...
I hope the 10% to Ukraine is just buying Ukrainian vodka. Just buy Stoli vodka or whatever.
very limited edition because people are really mad about them. So they're probably going to end up getting taken down at some point. If you're going to get one, I would get one ASAP. Now, here's why you clicked on the video. No, I'm not going to jail. Obviously, I'm not going to jail.
That's not that obvious. You were charged with a felony. But you said that you just got out of court and you're here recording a video. So you're probably not going to jail. But not obvious. Tell me about it, Boogie. Tell me what you got.
Did I fuck up? Yeah, I did. Should I have ever been put in that situation to begin with? No. The state, the judge, everyone obviously understood that. And if you're the kind of person that thinks that I should have gone to jail, or you've heard some of these other rumors I'm going to dispel in this video, please understand how wrong you are about me. That the prosecutor, that the judge, that my lawyer, that everyone involved knows how wrong you are and made a decision based on how wrong you are about me. And if you were wrong about this situation, maybe you've been wrong about some of the other things you think about me as well. Maybe now's the time to reevaluate, okay? It's all I ask.
Are you
one of the
guilty?
most common memes that I heard that was just
Are you
completely
guilty?
fabricated is that I shot towards a school, or I'm in a school zone. My house is not in a school zone. Look at Google Maps. The nearest school is miles away from me, and I was facing the opposite direction, so I didn't shoot at a school. That is just one of the many, many things that people take out of context and add to it and make believe in this crazy game of telephone where people make me out to be some bad guy, and then you
No, I didn't. Did anybody think Boogie was a bad guy or just a dumb guy? I thought he was a dumb guy. I didn't think Boogie was a bad guy. I thought he just made a whole bunch of really shitty decisions. Like going on Keemstar's live stream was a bad decision.
and other people fall for it.
His arms are kind of like they're way up here and they're really short. They're shortened by the effect. Like Boogie, you got a man spread out. Back up from the camera. Get big. You're big. Be big. Do it.
Do not fall for their manipulation, please. Another insane thing I heard was that I invited him here.
You did. That's on video. I mean, I know you weren't saying it like to actually invite him here, like, oh, come have tea. You told him to come to your house. I mean,
that is the opposite of reality. I told him once he was in my town that if you come to my home, that I would be forced to defend myself. Do not come here.
No, you said do come here. I remember we played it on video, but that's okay.
Like even if you are completely tone deaf to sarcasm.
Yeah, and well, have you ever met an autism or someone from India?
Even if you are completely oblivious to hyperbole and what it is.
Hyperbole is not the easiest legal defense.
It was pretty evident to anyone with a fucking brain that I was telling this person not to come here. And
but does Frank have a brain?
The reason I told him not to come here is because he said when he did, he would make sure that it was the worst day of my life. Worse than when my parents molested me. Those were his words. They're all over YouTube. You can find them.
What? And Boogie, look, again, I'm rooting for Boogie. I don't think he's a bad guy. I think he made bad decisions, right? Been very clear on this. But Boogie, your words are all over YouTube too.
I'm not going to put it here because this is the kind of guy who would use that clip as a reason to take down this video. So I'm obviously not going to give him that leverage. But for fuck's sakes, man, you take threats like that seriously. Anyone would. This is...
Don't call it a threat. Ah, God.
A person who had been stalking me online for months, threatening me online for months. This is a person who in the middle of a pandemic got on a plane and flew from where he lives in Atlanta, Georgia, to Fayetteville, Arkansas, for the sole purposes of harassing me in person and filming it for profit.
That's not necessarily true, because his harassment and what Frank was doing very well may have been harassment, but his harassment on Twitter wasn't in person until you got on the phone with Keemstar and had your back and forth. So I'm not 100% sure. And I think Frank told you that. You'd have to disbelieve Frank, which a lot of people do, which is fine. Again, I don't care. I don't know what's in Frank's mind, but he said the opposite. He said, I was just there visiting some friends and thought it would be funny to post this thing. But then once you got into the argument is when he decided to go to your house.
That is not a good person. That's not a comedian. That's not a nice guy. And you combine that with...
Not a nice guy, maybe. Good person, I don't know. But comedian, I mean, I think that is a comedian. You don't like the comedy. That's
the fact
fine.
that this person told me that they were going to make sure it was the worst day of my life, worse than when I got molested, obviously you treat that person like the mentally ill motherfucker they are.
Unless you were not understanding sarcasm and hyperbole, which is possible that in the situation and in the entire situation that led up to this, that you were misunderstanding Frank's approach. Again, I don't know. I don't know if this is like Frank's long game, but I have a feeling that someone like Frank, what he does is he throws out fish hooks as bait and then waits for someone to grab it. Like someone takes the hyperbole and then Frank runs with it till the joke is exhausted. And this time he ran all the way to this thing. I'm pretty sure that that's what it looks like to me. And Boogie, when you just are saying 2 minutes ago that about sarcasm and hyperbole, Frank saying, like someone saying, I'm going to come to your house, it's going to be the worst day since your parents molested you. And when he knocks on your door, says, I'm going to come in there and rape you. To me, I think that's probably hyperbole and a joke. And again, you don't have to like the joke. You don't have to agree that it's funny. And most normal people would not find that funny. So I'm not trying to misrepresent it here, but I mean, what you're saying kind of sounds like the same thing you were claiming you were doing. Just a thought on that one. Where is my, what the fuck? Okay.
Right? You have to. And because of all of this, I was confident. That my lawyer was confident. Hell, I even think the prosecutor was confident that if this went to court, I would walk away completely unscathed. That's why we got the deal that we got.
A plea deal.
Any jury who saw those.
I don't know that the lawyer was confident he would lose. If the prosecutor was confident he would lose, he would drop the case and not give you a plea deal at all. If he thought he might lose and maybe it was 50-50 or even a 70% chance and he could get a conviction out of you without sending you to jail. I mean, I don't know.
Those videos, who saw those threats, who saw that harassment, is probably going to side with me. And it's better for the prosecutor in this situation to get his victory than to have that court loss, I think. That's my opinion of what happened.
It's a valid opinion to have. I think he's incorrect, but that's okay.
I don't know for sure. I'm not that prosecutor. I'm not in his head, but that's what it seemed like it happened to me. And that seems to be what my lawyer thought as well. No, I think anyone with a brain can.
Your lawyer thought, if I can keep you out of jail, I win. That's look, let me tell you, defense attorney logic, because here's the number one goal of the defense attorney in 99% of cases. Keep them out of jail. You got a felony conviction, whatever. That's a shitty outcome. Even if you don't spend a day in jail, but you have a felony conviction on your record forever, that can really fuck up some people's lives. It can make it hard to get jobs, can make it hard to get apartments, can make it hard to get credit. All of these things are big. It's a big red flag and it's a big hurdle in your life that'll take maybe decades to overcome for some people. Now, if your job is social media like Boogie, could be fine. Could be no big deal. In some ways, it could be good advertising, but it doesn't really matter. The defense attorney's thinking, if I keep this motherfucker out of jail after firing a gun in, we'll say not a school zone, but a residential zone, for example, then firing a warning shot, utilizing deadly force or recklessly discharging a weapon, if I can keep him out of jail for that, that's a good thing. So, I think he's a little wrong on this.
Agree that I should have never been put into that situation, but that doesn't mean I acted properly or perfectly in that situation.
Very imperfect.
There are mistakes I made, and
Yep.
I want to own those mistakes. I wanted to own them that day, right? I wanted to come to Twitter and say, this is what I did wrong. This is what I should not have done. And I wasn't allowed to do that because it could have made my case far worse. My lawyer told me to shut up and lay low, and that's what I've done.
He better lay
now it's
low.
over. The decision is made. The
Lay
judge
low,
has signed
lay
off
low.
on it, and now I can admit all the fault I want. My first mistake was engaging with this person in any way on any level, right?
Yep.
screen telling me about to do crazy person. I was a free PR, these type of get a reaction. Better as people, you on the same level. People, I treat the intended will with my house. I really should into my.
Wait.
I should have fled. I should have left my house. I really should have.
No, you should not have fled. You should have just kept the door closed and called the cops. Period. That's it. Simple answer. Don't open the door. I wasn't going to bust your door down.
I can see my problem hurting to do. I could have given him to a face. I was talking to all these people who knew him. He's not actually going to show up. That's not why he's in town. He's not actually. This guy was calling that. He only wants to hurt me. So if I go,
why am I fast forwarding? Because it's 18 minutes long, and I'm trying to find out what actually was the outcome.
He can do whatever he wants to do. So I was thinking at that moment. However, that's not what I should have done, and you shouldn't do it either, right? Let the cops do their job and protect and serve. That's what you should do. But the biggest mistake I made, the mistake that I regret
talking to Keemstar
the most, is firing a warning shot. You know, I had some gun training. I'd gone to the
I should have shot him in the fucking teeth.
The range a few
That'd
times.
Be awesome.
Guns,
Say
not
it.
That weapon, but
Say
other
it.
weapons. You can see that on my YouTube channel. I knew that eventually there was a chance I would need to protect myself, or my roommate would need to protect us. And we prepared ourselves for that eventuality, right? I didn't prepare enough. Too many movies was running through my brain. There's no such thing as a warning shot. And what I can tell you is that you only pull a trigger on a weapon when you are prepared to kill, planning to kill,
correct,
or you're in a safe place to do it. Like
not planning to kill. Actually, that's incorrect. But
right? There's a chance, however small it might be, that someone can get hurt otherwise. And that's obviously what I did wrong in the situation. And it has fucked me up every day. Every day. I've never been able to say how much it fucked me up on Twitter, how door to me that on a weapon, unless we intend to kill, or and on the internet and everywhere else. Even that, most of us are going to make mistakes. That's why I was chosen. At the end of the day, I've never fought back for myself before. Right? This was a first for me. I do regret the results. I do regret the way I did it. Right? Obviously. But I don't regret the fact that I finally grew a fucking backbone. I just wish it had played out differently. Right? The lawyer and the prosecutor have agreed to here is called deferred adjudication.
Okay, deferred adjudication is great. You are actually sentenced to something, but that's deferred pending the probationary period. In a lot of cases, I don't know if it's going to be the same here. We'll find out in a minute, but a lot of times it's a year of probation, no same or similar criminal acts, remain drug-free, don't own guns, probably conditions of the deferred adjudication, maybe no contact with the victim, Frank Castle. Very often those types of things would be involved in something like this. And if you are able to keep your nose clean for 1 year, then the charges are dismissed. If not, you are convicted already, and then that conviction can be imposed, and then the sentence can be imposed against you. So let's see what happens.
Basically, it kicks this whole thing down the road for 2 years. And at the end of that,
B-Man 0013 in Minnesota, it's often 1 year deferred adjudication. So that's why I was saying 1 year. He's in Arkansas or whatever. So I don't know, but he says 2 years here. 2 years.
2 years. It's very likely to get 346 and go away. It will not be part of my record. It'll just basically disappear. And that's the best possible outcome for all things considered.
Yep, that's a great deal. Good work. Good lawyering. Good negotiating. Negotifying. Things that Boogie is not mentioning is it probably has a lot to do with his lack of criminal record. The mitigating circumstances are there, sure. And the prosecutor, whether they're confident or not in winning, this is a trial that isn't that big of a deal in the end, right? They're more interested in convicting rapists, murderers, drug dealers than some weirdo internet person. And they know it's going to be a spectacle if they run this thing to trial. A hilarious spectacle that would have been great. But this is a good deal.
We could have gone to court, but there's no guarantee that you'll win in the court situation.
No, there's actually a very good chance you would have lost this case, Boogie. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it for you now. And the evidence that you would have lost this case is that you did accept a plea deal for pleading guilty. And it was accepted by the judge because there was at least probable cause to suggest that you were guilty of the crime that you were accused of. And what you would have had were defenses to that crime, but you also would have had problems with your defenses, namely that Keemstar interview. And what you're saying, I'm crazy, you come to my house, I'm crazy, I'll fuck you up, I'll kill you or whatever. That was bad stuff. You don't want that. And worse would be even if they didn't play the tape, if they just read your words from a transcript. Oh, that would have been terrible for you.
And it would be a horribly stressful thing to deal with. It could have been more damaging to my career, more damaging to the YouTube platform, more.
Nope. It wouldn't have been damaging at all in the slightest to the YouTube platform. That is not what was going on there. But okay, there we go. We've got Boogie's deal. We found out his outcome. Good thing. And you know, like I said, I was rooting for Boogie. I thought the gods of comedy could step in, and apparently they did. He paid the toll. He paid the toll. The troll toll of felony conviction. So great news, though. If he gets the deferred adjudication, if he's able to hold off for 2 years, comply with all the terms of his probation, it'll go away, and that'll be good. That'll be good for him. The next 2 years will be annoying, of course, but after that, it'll be good stuff. And that's probably the right outcome. That's actually the outcome you really want to see in most first offenders. In all honesty, that is an outcome that should be available to just about everybody, because a lot of one-time offenders will go through the issue, like the legal process itself, and that will be enough of a deterrent, and they don't need jail time. And I'm a proponent of this sort of alternative justice, so to speak. As a defense attorney, of course I am, right? Any opportunity to keep your clients out of jail is good. Raw Set says, you know how I suffered being separated from my kids? Take a real vodka shot, Anton, because there are no words. Yeah, let me. I do have this disgusting military special vodka here. Take a little bit of. This is the grossest vodka I've ever had. And I've had some bad vodka. Oh, fuck me. Here we go. To Anton. Ugh. I was not a full shot. I was not going to do a full shot. I don't need a full shot of vodka. Thank you. Ugh. Andrew War Snowboard says, see, Goody asked me all the time why you've never had me on the show. I tell him you would need to find a topic to have me on for, but I also tell him to super chat you about it. He's never done it, so I will. We'll see, man. I don't know. We'll think about it. Rick Sanchez says, hi, Nick. First chat and rather sad. Last night, my mother-in-law passed, leaving behind a husband and 4 kids aged 10 to 30. Pour some good stuff for my mother. For my other mother, heartbroken. Give, send, go / Charlotte Fund. Charlotte Fund. Okay. Prayer and donations much appreciated. Okay, guys, you can check out Charlotte Fund's GoFundMe, but I will pour some of this Kaio Japanese whiskey, which I've been enjoying quite a bit, actually, right after that vodka. This is not supposed to be a drinking stream. But to Rick Sanchez's mother-in-law, leaving behind 4 kids from adult age all the way down to fresh youth. Losing a mother is something that people are never prepared for. And though there are many memes and jokes about the mother-in-law, I think many people actually develop real relationships with them. And if nothing else, watching their partner suffer is very much something that they do share in through marriage. So it's never planned. It's always awful. And the things that the mother left behind, of course, it's the raising of children unfinished. But hopefully, and I would trust that Rick's mother-in-law has left a legacy in her adult children that will help raise the remainder of the generation in the same way that she would have, with the same love, the same affection, hopefully amplifying and magnifying in her loss rather than being deteriorated. Cheers. Clarice Knox is going to catch stream tomorrow. Wanted to ask if you'd heard about Damon Mills, one of the funny actors going hard on Vic. Just had his victim come out with some bad-looking evidence, hard-looking evidence, but not a word against him from the Kick Vic crowd. Clarice, yeah, we actually did a whole show on Damon Mills on Tuesday night. So, well, whole segment of the show, a little over an hour on Damon on Tuesday. And so, yes, I've heard about it. I've talked about it. It's pretty crazy. Damon Mills has just been canceled from a convention. I mean, he can't make it due to personal issues, according to the convention. And that is, by the way, that is the way you should describe that. That is the way you should describe that. Oh, hey, guys, look at this. What is right here? Please no bully. Opening arguments for Chandler Halderson on Ricada Law. This wouldn't be been doing in his private time that he tried to conceal from the public, kinda. He might be into those homosexual operations for like a long time, kind of based on his statements. Your Honor, I asked to bring those statements in. I thought the door had been kicked open harder than his sphincter, but you said that we couldn't talk about his past where he was lusting after college boys' anal holes, Your Honor.
What?
But I still think, my objections. This is a Jack Murphy segment. Stands. Even if he squats. Okay, next. Okay. This is, of course, the video that Law and Crime took down. This is the one that they took down. It is back on YouTube, and I need to do a short video update on it. I will hopefully have that out tomorrow. I need to get that up. But yeah, this is the video here. The best part about, well, I don't want to say the secret. I'll tell you. No, I won't. You'll figure it out. When you look at the video that I used and you think real hard about the letter that they sent and the copyright registration, you'll figure it out. Yeah, this is the video that Law and Crime took down. It is completely back. Unedited, unfiltered, unfettered access to Law and Crime's live stream, which was obviously fair use. But yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know, saw that, just wanted to let you know that it is back up. You can watch it at any time. Now let's get Jussie Smollett and his stupid sentencing pulled up here. Oh, it's been clipped to fucking oblivion. We need the full sentencing. Here we go. Let me get to where the judge is laying down the hammer here. Oh, by the way, this codgy old bastard was from the special prosecutor's office. He was great. He came in, he's just like, this is bullshit. Everything that guy said was stupid. I think up there. All right, we've got this segment. This is going to be a little bit of a segment. It's going to be a little long. Hashtag, that's what he said. It's going to be a little long, but the judge is going to talk about Jussie and his conduct leading up to delivering that sentence to him. And I think it's good stuff, personally. Here we go. So this is, C Goody says, you skipped my last super chat. So here it is again. Says, shh, don't tell Mandy. but the purse is a knockoff. I paid more for this super chat than I did that purse. Did you actually buy her a purse? Oh, here, I missed that one. Sorry. I see it now. Did you actually buy her a purse? I always said mods are gay. Now I'm getting confirmation. Okay, here we go. So this is the judge. This is the judge. Let's do it. I did not see the lawyer's press conference after. Was it embarrassing?
So this is, do you want to say something or would you rather not say anything?
He won't say anything. Okay. We need to turn this volume up, though. We're going to get this up. Get that bad boy up to about 250. That's what I recorded it at earlier.
All right, we're at the end of the road here.
Okay, so real quick, the preface to all this is there has been, at this point, 5 hours and 20 minutes of live stream. Not all of it has been with Jussie in court. There was, the pre-stream and all that bullshit that happened. But this is after about 4.5 hours of argument back and forth on this issue. Jussie was offered, as all defendants are, they're offered the ability to speak on their behalf, ask the court for mercy or consideration of whatever mitigating circumstances. Jussie chose not to offer any testimony on his own behalf this day. Instead, he got, and this is crazy, he had 2 in-person witnesses. He had 2 in-person statements, and he had, I think, 7 full letters of support read into open court. 11 different statements being offered. It took forever. It was unnecessary. It was theatrical. And importantly, the defense, the reason that we didn't get cameras during the Smollett case is the defense, Jussie, did not want cameras in the courtroom for the trial, but they wanted cameras in the courtroom for the sentencing. So you get to infer 2 things from this. One, they did not want the public or the producers or whoever to watch Jussie lie on the stand. They did not want anybody to actually witness the evidence against him because it was damning. This man committed a rather horrifying felony when you think about it. His crime was lying to the police, which in general should not be a crime. Fuck the police on that stuff. However, the police didn't come to him to ask the questions. He went to them. So it's a little bit different than police come knocking on your door and someone tells a fib, like some little white lie, or they're trapped into it. Jussie went to the police. He asked for their intervention and then lied about it. He lied about the whole thing, and he did it to further his own fucking career. He got the public enraged about a hate crime to further his own selfish ambition and nothing else. And they did not want anybody to see that, because you can hear about it. You can read an article and go, oh yeah, okay, so this guy lied. Well, that's fucking lame or whatever. And then it's gone from you. But if you watch him lie, if you watch everybody come up and say, here's all the evidence, it's different. So they wanted the media to control the narrative without the facts being presented to the public. And then the next thing you can infer is that since they wanted cameras at this hearing, that everything in this hearing was performative. Every single bit of it was performative. They knew what was going to happen or what the likely outcomes were. And they did this for the cameras, for the media to keep running with the Jussie narrative that they hoped the media would run with the entire time. They want him to be a black, gay, Jew victim. That's what they want from Jussie Smollett in the public eye. That was the goal. That was always the goal. And that's what they tried to do here. Make him a black, gay Jew, a perpetual victim. All of the victim categories we could come up with. That's what we need Jussie to be. and the media will cover for him after that. That's what this was. And again, entirely performative. Get that narrative out. The system was against a black man yet again. No one else would go to jail for this. Everybody else would get off on this, but a black man in Chicago with a corrupt police department and a corrupt right-wing judge and right-wing press, and which is fucking ludicrous when you think about it, was victimized yet again, almost as hard as he victimizes his own asshole after a Jack Murphy pep talk. That's what they wanted. And they knew it. And that's why they read 11 fucking testimonies into the record, even though there was no purpose in doing it. It was all for the cameras. All of it. And that, my friends, is power and privilege in real time. A straight white man who does not have a shitload of money and Hollywood connections would never get 11 different letters read into court. A straight white woman would never get 11 letters read into court. A straight black non-celebrity man. Ask a black man how many community letters they fucking get read into court. 2, maybe 2. You might get 2 in one statement along with it in your statement. That's all you're going to fucking get. 11. That's what money and power gets you. And the fact that money and power and privilege are so at play in this trial, which is about the opposite. It's about the oppression and suppression of gay black Jews everywhere, right? Like that's what they want this to be. And it's fucking exercise in dick-wagging power. And it's gross. It's gross. You want unequal justice? Ask a single January 6th detainee if they're going to get 11 testimonies on the record at their sentencing. I'll wait for the 11 testimonies to come in. Why is one guy masked? That's Jussie. He's making a statement. The entire thing is performative. Every second of this hearing was a performance. Uy99 says, I don't think it helped his case, though. No, it didn't. Not in court. They knew it wouldn't. But here's the other thing about this. This is representation, legal representation in the 21st century is not about what happens in court by itself anymore. And lawyers who are thinking like this, lawyers who are thinking about what happens in court only, will be left behind. This law firm knew. Like I said, it's a performance piece. They knew he'd probably get, he's convicted. He's going to get sentenced with something. It could go badly. However, we can get our narrative on camera for the world to see, and the world will watch because they weren't able to watch the trial. They will watch the sentencing. And we can tell the world about the oppression of this gay, black, Jewish man. And they did. And that marketing aspect of it, the PR portion of it, is intentional and it's smart. And so many lawyers, that's what I was talking about with Boogie. Boogie's in a 21st century public job. His lawyer told him to be quiet. No, just give him a list of things to never talk about or say. Don't be quiet. Leverage your platform. Leverage that. Mold the messaging. Get ready for the aftermath. Do all of those things. Don't talk about the facts of the case. But start framing everybody's mind. Now Boogie has to catch up, right? Imagine if Boogie had come out and said, here's all the things. You know, he had started framing this 2 years ago, whenever it happened, 1.5 years, 2 years ago, when it happened. If he started framing it from then, not for everybody who doesn't, people who don't believe Boogie or don't like Boogie are never going to, and that's fine. But it's for everybody else. Remember where his money comes from. Jussie's money comes from the public. His public perception matters more than this jail sentence of 5 months. 5 months, he's already in an off season of recording. He's got to find a new gig anyway. When he gets out, though, he's going to be a gay, black, Jewish man who survived the white man's oppressive prison system and a crime that no one else would ever go to jail for. And he's going to get work right fucking away. Right away. He'll be in a show immediately when his prison sentence is over.
This matter has been pending in the criminal justice system for 3 years, approximately. It's been
I'm going to turn it up a little bit more. That's all. So 3 years in the criminal justice system.
approximately 2 years on this particular docket. We have an original indictment that was returned by the Cook County State's Attorney's Office. There was a quick dismissal that occurred in this case that caused tremendous consternation in the community, and to this day is a basis of great confusion and misunderstanding and mistrust. In any event, some things happened after the first dismissal, the only dismissal on the case after the first indictment. People were very upset. One person came forward in particular, and that person, of course, is Sheila O'Brien. Sheila O'Brien is a former retired appellate court justice in the state of Illinois. She came to court as a common citizen without credentials, just by herself. And she said she had a grievance and she wanted her grievance heard. And she thought that with the handling of the case by the state's attorney's office of Cook County was so upsetting that she was losing sleep. And she explained in her petition all the reasons that she thought that a special prosecutor had to be appointed, not to necessarily indict or do anything in particular, but just to look at this and give it a fresh look because something appeared to be wrong. The case ultimately got assigned to Judge Michael Tuman. And I can say that among his peers, among his fellow judges, Michael Tuman is considered cream of the crop.
This motherfucker has a Diet Ocean spray on his desk. Wow. Okay. You nailed it. Diet Ocean spray. So he's giving the history of the case here. And this was brought up by the defense. There was some weird procedural stuff that happened. The case was sort of dismissed before. And so then there's a question of, did jeopardy attach? Is this double jeopardy? The case was dismissed. Why didn't this happen? Blah, 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 blah. But the case wasn't really dismissed in the way that would invoke double jeopardy. It was null prosecuted. Null prosecuted should mean that Null is going to jail because he's a bigot. Take that, Null, motherfucker. But what null prosecution means is that the prosecutor is withdrawing the filing of the charges pending some conditions. But they have the right to bring the charges really at any time because they already have the probable cause established. Now, you can get a settlement agreement of sorts on a null prosecution, and you can try and impose that, especially if your client relies upon those things. And these are all things that they argued. They weren't very convincing arguments, frankly. Null is a good boy. Stop with the Null knows I love him. Null knows I love him. He needs to stop feeding Tess Holiday, though. Gross.
The crowd. He's a long-standing veteran judge, been a judge longer than I've been a judge. He sat in this building for many years. He sat on the appellate court of Illinois. He's the current head of the juvenile justice system. He has been a long-standing judge who has a reputation for knowledge, integrity, honesty, and always knowing what the right thing to do is. He took this matter under advisement and hearings were conducted. And after all these hearings were conducted and he listened to both sides, he heard from the state's attorney of Cook County, he heard from Ms. O'Brien, he recognized that there was confusion in the public. There was concern that confidence in the criminal justice system locally here was at risk and may have been damaged, and that the case required a second look. And Michael Tuman, in his wisdom, sought out the proper, what he thought to be the right person to address this, And he identified Dan Webb and the Winston Strong law firm as the people that might be able to take on the task. Dan Webb and Winston Strong agreed to take on the
Drex, are you besmirching Jussie's Jewishness? His very Jewish grandmother testified today. He's Jewish, like an eighth or whatever. He was a very good boy. Very good boy. I wanted him to be a doctor, but an actor is fine. An actor is fine. Okay. Only if they're successful, though. I don't want one of those B-listers, No, his very Jewish grandmother came up and invoked the Holocaust and the oppression of her people. In this case, it was beautiful. It was perfect. It was exactly what you wanted. It wouldn't even be on the bingo card because no one would believe it. He's a very good Jewish boy. We had his bar mitzvah and he kept looking at all the other boys. It was very concerning, but I'm sure he'll find a nice Jewish girl sometime. Mandy Karavic says, is that the Theodore Edgecombe lawyer? I can't tell. No, it's not B. Ivory Lamar. The Bots says, man, it must be all the 20-hour days I've been pulling that's got me off. Well, if anything's getting you off, that's always good. I had to send you an email because no matter what I tried or how I edited my super chat, YouTube won't allow it. Please read when you got the chance. Yes. Excuse me. If you guys remember the Bots, he was doing a crowdfunder to raise money to buy a game store that was going out of business, a local game store in his community. And they have done it. They have done it. And the game store is open now. So it's very cool. Great success story. It is open. The GoFundMe for it is still open. I don't remember the actual title of the GoFundMe. So my apologies for that. But they are open to the public and they're selling products, which is great. He also said this will probably be his last super chat for a while as all the money is going into the shop, which is how small businesses tend to work. So good luck, brother. Keep it going. Keep the legacy alive. The Squid says, when did Lord Farquaad get old and become a judge? Jussie Smollett. Tina says, Nick, everyone seems to love your toast, though I hate to admit it, they are really good. So if the YouTube thing falls apart, you may have a career in doing custom toasts. We'll see.
task. And as they already indicated, they did this pro bono, which means they did it for free. I don't know that at the time they signed up for this, that they had any idea that it was going to be as work intensive as this case has become. This case took several years, and we were slowed down by COVID a little bit, but the amount of pretrial motions that were filed were exhaustive. I have never, other than death penalty cases, which I used to preside over, seen anything like the extent of filing pretrial motions. And I'm not faulting the defense for filing many motions. I will just say that this case received as much attention and was gone over every little bit of it by a fine-tooth comb as thoroughly as any case I've ever seen before. The stacks of pleadings are high. I've got stacks on my desk that are unprecedented. And we had to wade through all of them, and it took a long time to do that. And there was a tremendous amount of attorney manpower, and billable hours that were lost by the Winston Strong firm.
Billable hours. I need to commission Sabaton to do a lawyer song called Billable Hours.
Member of the judiciary, thank you, because that was very, very extraordinary. And I have no idea what the amount of billable hours are, and I can only imagine, but I think it is huge and truly significant. In the other event, what happened here is that after Mr. Webb and his team reviewed the case, they had several assignments, one of which was to look into the conduct of the state attorney's office. And does
anybody know Sabaton? Would they collab with me on a project?
About that, another about the Chicago Police Department and their handling the case. They did that. But what's relevant here, of course, is that they went to another grand jury and they returned a second indictment. And the second indictment, ultimately by random, got assigned to this particular court. And we came here. We've been here for a couple of years now. Well, the pretrial motions have been resolved. A trial by jury was held. The defendant was found guilty of 5 of 6 counts of felony disorderly conduct, class 4 offenses. Our post-trial motions have now been resolved. The pre-sentence investigation has been completed, and we're at the final step of proceedings on the trial court level of the criminal case, and that's sentencing. Let me talk first about the sentencing range, because I think there may be some misunderstanding, at least how the court assesses the sentencing range. This is a class 4 felony. This is the lowest class felony in the state of Illinois. I will note that legislatures throughout the country, in Illinois in particular, have constantly cut into judicial discretion and forced us to have mandatory sentencings under different circumstances. We have to do this and we have to do that, and try to have some kind of cookie cutter justice. But that does not exist in this case for me. I am left unfettered. Under Illinois law, the range of sentence in this case is as follows. Mr. Smollett is looking at a probationary term of up to 30 months.
And the judge laid down his gavel, unfettered in his sentencing.
Order to perform community service.
He would bring this man to justice.
Order to pay restitution. Order to pay a fine. He's also subject to a penitentiary sentence of what I find to be 1 to 3 years. Now there's talk about, well, what about 5 counts? Shouldn't he be at least eligible for a 15-year sentence? There are ways to analyze Illinois law and say that in a case where there are 5 counts, that consecutive sentences might be required or might be at least considered. I don't believe that I could ever make the findings that are necessary in Illinois law, and I'm not going to have a long dissertation.
Frisky, what he said was basically he's got 1 to 3 years as a sentencing range for these crimes, these disorderly conduct felonies of lying to the police. Those are a 1 to 3 year sentence, 3 year being the maximum. 1 year since they're felony is in there. Okay. And so what he's saying is that's the range that he has, because typically they're going to be served concurrently. They're not going to be served consecutively. So there's an argument out there that since he got convicted of 5 of these and 3 years would be the maximum, it's theoretically possible he could do a 15-year sentence. He's dismissing that notion right now, saying that no, this is going to be between 1 and 3 years. It's possible to get to 15, maybe, but there's a whole lot of stuff that has to happen. You have to find all kinds of aggravating factors. They have to find all of these things. And he actually probably has them in this case, but he doesn't want to go through that analysis. And it's very, very appealable if he does. Plus, he probably doesn't want to award a 15-year sentence on this anyway, because he is a first-time offender in the state of Illinois, I think. And he's also a celebrity, and he's had to deal with this fucking defense team for 3 years already. And he's already talking about stacks and stacks of paper. So now he can go ahead and award him this, the sentence that he's going to get. It's going to be too short for an appeal. Why bother? And the appeal will be like a thing that's kind of, we'll do it, I guess. But yeah, so that's what he's talking about.
About it, but I don't think those findings would apply. I don't think Illinois law, for the facts I had before me, would allow for consecutive sentences. So as far as I'm concerned, the penitentiary sentence, should there be one, would be 1 to 3 years. I'm mindful that there's acute public interest in this case. We have television cameras. They want to be here, and they are here. People are watching. People seem to care passionately for varieties of reasons about this case, and the reasons are many. And let me be clear that the sentence that I put down today and render down to Mr. Smollett is not in any way, shape, or form to assuage any public sentiment in any form at all. I'm listening to things that were brought to me in court today, things, people that have participated in the aggravation and mitigation portions of the presentation today, but this is not for the public. The sentence that's going to be rendered today is going to be strictly for Mr. Smollett. It's going to be fashioned for him. And when a judge sentences somebody, and I've been doing this for quite a while now, you have to look at both the crime that was committed and the person that committed it. How did the person get here? Who is this person? What is the crime? You put them together, you look at the sentencing range, and you try to find something that is just and fits and makes sense and that is right. And that's what we're going to do. Let me tell you, Mr. Smollett, I know that there is nothing that I will do here today that can come close to the damage you've already done to your own life. You've turned your life up.
I completely disagree with these points from the judge. Oh, your life is so horrible. Jussie Smollett is going to come out of prison and he is going to go right back into Hollywood because of the woke fucking commie bullshit state of Hollywood They will be like, oh, you were so wrong, you beautiful black Jew. By the way, you're gay. Will you take a finger in the butt? Because he will take a finger in the butt for the next role. He will walk right back he'll walk into the producer's office. He may kind of waddle out afterwards, but he will go right back into Hollywood. Nothing. This judge is absolutely wrong. Oh, it's going to be very hard for you because now you're a felon. Oh, like they fucking care in Hollywood if you're a felon. If they cared about felons in Hollywood, Robert Downey Jr. would have never gotten work ever again. Right? Like they don't give a shit about any of that. Did you murder like a underage kid that you were having sex with? If not, you're probably fine. Like, in Hollywood, you can have sex with the underage kid. Look at Roman Polanski. You can murder someone. Look at Alec Baldwin. But you can't murder an underage kid that you're having sex with. That's the line in Hollywood. Everybody else can come right fucking back. They don't even need a redemption arc. You need a redemption arc if you voted for Trump, but you don't need a redemption arc if you raped a hooker and left her bleeding in an alleyway, so long as she lives. Actually, if she's overage, it's fine. Who cares if she dies? She's just a hooker anyway. Everybody can come back. Jussie's going to come back. No problem. This judge is 100% wrong on this.
Upside down by your misconduct and shenanigans. You've destroyed your life as you knew it. And there's nothing that any sentencing judge can do that can compare to the damage you've already caused yourself. So who is Jussie Smollett? Who are you? And
who fucking cares who he is?
All people in the world did you get to be here, sitting in the courtroom in Chicago at a sentencing hearing, convicted of hoaxing racial and homophobic hate crimes? How in the world did this happen?
Because he did it. That's how it happened. Do I have this fucking resolution maxed out? I'm getting these shitty resolutions. Come on. Because he fucking did it. He's a hoaxer. All of these fucking hate crimes. So many hate crimes are hoaxes. Basically, if you hear about a hate crime, there's a 95% chance it's a hoax. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed there are hate crimes that happen. I mean, accepting the colloquial definition of hate crime, which I reject as a legal conclusion, the idea that there is a hate crime. Like if you punch someone in the teeth, that it's somehow worse if you're like, you Italian, bam, then it's a hate crime. No, it's just a fucking crime. It always was a crime. It's just a crime. I don't care what your motivation for the criminal act is. I think that's an improper way to look at it. But if you accept the definition of a hate crime, then there are these hate crimes out there that occur and you never will hear about them because that's the majority of crime. But the hate crimes you hear about always seem to end up being completely fucking fake, right? Somebody came in and wrote the N-word on my shower stall. It was you, wasn't it? Maybe. I just wanted an A on my history exam. Ooga booga, ooga booga, ooga booga. Right? Like, it's always something like that. It's always fucking fake. They're all fake. Look at this. This is the hate of hate crimes. White men come to lynch Jussie Smollett. They're so determined to lynch this fucking gay Jew black that they're going to do it in the middle of negative 20 degrees in Chicago at 2 a.m. because that's when the MAGA supporters are in hibernation. Those big, fat, fucking MAGA bears are all hibernating. Lauren Boebert, Lauren Boebert, Lauren Boebert. Lauren Boebert, Lauren Boebert, Lauren Boebert. They're all fucking asleep. That's when they're going to do it. They're going to come out and like 2 a.m. we will get to, right? Like this is how the race war starts. And of course it's fucking fake. Of course it's fake. They're all fake. They're always fake. The spray paint is on their fingers still as they go to the cops every goddamn time because they want the publicity. That's the point. If Rolling Stone reports on it, you know it's a fake hate crime. Sorry. A little tangent there. Card 173 says judge looks like he should be flying a kite in a thunderstorm. Margot Rona Says, Nick, my wife always gives me the look, you know the one, when she overhears shenanigans on the stream. However, she is a big Sabaton fan, so I'm clipping those parts and hoping it earns me some leeway. Lol, keep it up. Look, play my Sabaton cover, loop it together and put it over some heavy drums and then play it while you're having sex, and you'll be in good shape.
Ironies in this case, and the ironies are many and they are profound. And I'm talking about the testimony I heard under oath from Mr. Smollett, corroborated in large part by the pre-sentence investigation. Mr. Smollett chose to take the witness stand, which of course is his right. He took an oath and he got on the witness stand, and the first thing he did was to introduce himself to the jury. He wanted the jury to know who he was, where he came from, what he was about. And I heard it on the witness stand. I heard it corroborated today by the witnesses that came and testified on his behalf. There's no question. Mr. Smollett was born into a mixed race family. His mom is an African-American woman. His dad was a white Jewish man.
There
were 6 siblings. And if you can say anything about this family,
6 siblings, oy vey.
Very tight-knit family, a village that was always in sync.
We're a
with each
village.
other,
We're
that
raising a
cared about
child.
each other. It was completely, wholly supportive of each other. You know that this family knew about matters about social justice more than anything else. That's what the family stood for. It is part of the fabric of their existence. I know that Jussie Smollett grew up knowing to be sensitive to matters about racial discrimination, any kind of discrimination, any kind of social injustice. And as a matter of fact, I'm learning more about it as we're going on in the letters I've been receiving and the testimony I've heard today. He's been doing this all his life. He doesn't just talk the talk, he's walking the walk. He's out there, he's advocating. He's involved in the community. He cares deeply about social justice issues.
Oh, he cares deeply.
And for you now to sit here, convicted of hoaxing hate crimes, racial hate crimes, and homophobic hate crimes, the hypocrisy is just astounding.
Judge can't believe it. I can't believe he would hoax these hate crimes against the Jews and the blacks.
That will always stick in my mind, and I've been involved in so many trials over the years, but something happened in this trial that it was remarkable, and it talks about your sensitivity to issues of social justice. You're on the
I can believe it 100%.
You're being cross-examined. Your liberty is at stake. It is your criminal trial. Mr. Webb is winding through some things on cross-examination, and he's going through some social media communications, and whether it was Instagram or chat or text, a little quibbling about that doesn't matter. But Mr. Webb found a line that he wanted to confront you with. He said, "Didn't you say," and he used a word starting with the letter N.
Ooh.
"Meet me at this place at this time," and I'm paraphrasing.
He said, "Nigerians, meet me at this place in this time, brothers. I will show you the way. I will show you the way to my anus." Bob Piffle says, "Thank you for covering. Watched this live earlier today. Judge is right on." The judge is right on, but he takes a little long to get to this. But yes, this is so good. This is the best moment. The lawyer is reading off Jussie's communication, in which Jussie drops the Binger bomb. And when he does it, Jussie's like, "You don't have a right to say that. How dare you denigrate the black community, which I am a part." Actually, "You don't have the right to say that. How dare you denigrate and not denigrate me, Big Daddy."
And rather than just answer the question, which is what a witness is supposed to do and expected to do in their criminal trial, you stopped the proceedings. You said, "Mr. Webb,
stop the courts.
Out of respect for all the African-American people in this courtroom, you should not be using that word."
Fuck off.
And I was amazed, but it showed, and I'm not talking about the parrying and the gamesmanship that may go on between a prosecutor and a witness on the stand. That's not why I'm telling this, recalling this event. But what I'm talking about is how sensitive you were to any kind of slight, that anybody, if the wrong words come out of somebody else's mouth, you're going to get up and speak up and complain about it, and make sure that they know that that they're not behaving the way you're supposed to behave. So you know better than anybody else that these are serious matters. They're serious to you. They're clearly serious to you and as your whole family. And for you to be here now, convicted of these hate crimes, it's just astonishing. Faking hate crimes. So why did this happen? That's a good question. I think that's the question on everybody's mind. There's some conjecture you did it for the money. Frankly, I do not
He
believe
worked hard
that you did
for
it for
the
the
money.
You were making,
So
the evidence showed,
hard
close
for
to $2
his
million
money.
a year when this happened. I don't think money motivated you at all. But the only thing
Judge is wrong here. Of course, money motivated. Look, $2 million a year. What? You stop making money? Of course he did it for the money. It came out at trial that Jussie had received a hate letter. Anybody believes he received a hate letter that wasn't written by him literally. But he claimed to receive a hate letter, and he did not get the attention. This is something I did not know until today. Jussie had gotten a quote-unquote hate letter, taken it to the producers of Empire, and wanted more attention, money, prominence. And he didn't get it. And then he hoaxed the Nigerian attack. Then he did it. This was definitely about money. Of course it was. Oh, you made $2 million a year. This isn't about money. What? You know what's better than $2 million a year? $3 million a year or $4 million a year. Of course it is. When does money stop being cool? Like, there's not an amount. Like, everybody here would switch places with switch incomes, not necessarily places, switch incomes with Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk in a heartbeat. Because there's no amount of money where it's like, you know what? Actually, no, more money is uncool. Now, the shit that comes with money, all the drama, sure, maybe people get tired of that, but not at $2 million. $2 million is not an uncool amount of money. You're not like, whoa, now I'm done. Look, $2 million is enough. Fuck off. Like, you can literally, until you're literally bathing in Bugattis, it's not enough for anybody. And anybody who says otherwise, they would all take more money, because until you actually are getting that and you're dealing with the fuckery that comes with it, everybody thinks I can eliminate all of my stress, all of my problems. I'll never have a house payment. I'll never have a car payment. Never have to worry about taxes. I'll never have to worry about anything ever again. Because for most people, that's how it goes. And whatever woes come with money, the benefits tend to outweigh it. So the judge is being stupid here. I don't know what his fucking problem is. Kyle Guerrero says, can I get a toast for my sister who's active duty in the Army? She's currently stationed in Germany. Yeah, Kyle, absolutely. Absolutely. What kind of what kind of role does she play in the Army? I mean, is she infantry? Is she support? Is she an officer? Just curious. Not relevant to the toast. Just curious. To Kyle Guerrero's sister, serving the country over in Germany, being stationed away from the family. This is something I was never able to do, though I did consider and want to do it unironically for a while. Was never able to do, and I respect the hell out of anybody who will sacrifice years of their time for their country, for their countrymen. We can cynically say that they do it for benefits or status or whatever, but the reality is most of us don't, and these people do. And I will always, no matter what, respect anybody who's willing to do that, to sacrifice those things for a country that will largely not thank them for it. No matter how many, I appreciate your services, no matter how many random, like, suspiciously bought meals that tend to maybe be for the benefit of the buyer more than the receiver, I genuinely think there's sacrifice there, and I genuinely respect it. Cheers to her. May she not be involved in the Ukraine in any way. Peace. Shin-Chan 256B says, Juicy received a hate letter. I give Nick hate super chats all the time. Also, isn't it weird that the most normal mod you have is Drex, and that guy talks to people about their orc sex dolls? It says a lot of you as a person. No, all mods are gay. Drex too. Sorry, Drex. By the way, you're a mod, so you're taking dick on the reg.
I can find is that you really crave the attention and you wanted to get the attention, and you were so invested in issues of social justice, and you knew that this was a sore spot for everybody in this country. You knew this was a country that was slowly trying to heal past injustices and current injustices and trying to make a better future for each other. And it was a hard road. And you took some scabs off some healing wounds and you ripped them apart for one reason. You wanted to make yourself more famous. And for a while it worked. Everybody was talking about you. The lights are on you. You were actually throwing a national pity party for yourself. And why would you do such a thing? Why would you, I understand you crave the attention so much, but why would you betray something like social justice issues, which you care so much about? And the only thing I could conclude is that, and I acknowledge there are wonderful sides to you. They're very giving and charitable and loving sides to you, but you have another side of you.
Don't acknowledge that.
Profoundly arrogant and selfish and narcissistic. That's the only thing that can be concluded. And that bad side of you came out during the course of all these events. Let me talk about hate crimes for a minute.
Oh, please tell me about hate crimes.
For many years, and I've heard many victims of crimes testify in front of me. And any victim of a crime, no matter what the crime is, they are demoralized by what happens to them. It doesn't matter if you're injured unjustifiably, if somebody hurts you and it maybe cripples you or damages you in some fashion that's going to be long-standing injuries.
It's true.
If your property is stolen, your vehicles are stolen, people go into your homes, your possessions are stolen.
It's horrifying. It's such a violation.
It is a demoralizing experience. And sometimes it's the worst experience that anybody can ever go through in their entire life.
Preach.
And then if it turns out that the motivation for the criminal to do something bad to you was because they hate you because of your race, because of your ethnicity, because of your gender, your sex.
Let me finish this sentence for the judge. It literally doesn't fucking matter. Stop it, judge. Stop it. The white guy who is robbed is no less aggrieved than the white guy who is robbed while the person says, "Fuck you, cracker." It's the exact same victim status. Fuck off with this nonsense. God, I hate this shit so much.
Sexual orientation, your religion, your age, your disability. If that was the reason for it, it is exponentially worse. There is nothing worse.
Exponentially.
Than to be a
But you guys didn't know that exponentially was a word.
Victim of a hate crime. It is the worst thing that can happen, especially in our country with all our history and all that we're going through now to try to get around some of these issues. Hate crimes are the absolute worst. And I believe that you did damage to real hate crimes, to hate crime victims. There are people that are actual, genuine victims of hate crimes that you did damage to. These are people that have a difficult time coming forward. They may be.
I said this on Nate's show, and I'm going to say it again. Again, I don't buy into what hate crimes actually are. Like, I don't agree with them under the law. However, accepting what hate crimes that they exist under the law in our society or whatever in our system, judges today they genuinely believe that they are reforming in and fighting against a systemic oppression of yesteryear. They believe they are champions of equality, equity, and justice. Whatever, like, that may be right, that may be wrong. I don't care. They may all be cucks. It doesn't matter what the reality is, okay? Even a racist judge doesn't think he's a racist, okay? It doesn't matter. They believe that they are doing better today than was done for Emmett Till or whatever. Like, they all get up, they put on their robe, then they lift it up and they jerk off really hard. They're like, I'm going to fucking avenge Emmett Till. And they do that. And then they go to the bench. And the inside of their robe's really nasty because of that. But that's what they do. I'm not joking about this, by the way. They literally believe, because you're drilled in law school and you're drilled in your fucking CLEs and you're drilled everywhere, that you are the agent to repair the broken justice system. And so when they get on the bench, they believe it. So while it doesn't matter practically and in reality, whether they're right, wrong, that none of that matters, They believe it. And when some motherfucker comes into their courtroom and messes with their ability to enact justice, you don't want to be the criminal in that case. You don't want to be the hate crimer. Notice the people who are convicted of hate crimes get fucked hard with their sentencing. And people who hoax and get prosecuted for it, when that happens, they're very offended. The judges are very, very offended because they're working their ass off to repair the damage being done. And these hoaxers ruin it. Don't be that guy.
Mistrustful. They may not want to bring it to the attention of the community or first responders. There may be some trepidation.
This guy is
I don't
so
know for
Chicago.
sure how much damage there was. I don't know how this is going to impact other people, if they're going to be hesitant to come forward because they're going to think that they're going to be accused of acting like you and doing a stunt like you pulled here.
Because they are most likely
I don't know
statistically.
if first responders are going to be more doubtful and skeptical of people that come forward, real victims of hate crime, because of what you did here. I'm hoping it's not that way. Now I'll show one of the ironies in this case, and I find this pretty profound. I got letters from people that advocate about victims of hate crime their entire lives. They devote their lives to this. I'm talking in particular, Derek Johnson, president of the NAACP, Reverend Jesse Jackson. He's an icon here in Chicago.
These motherfuckers are not advocating against hate crimes. They're race pimps. Oh, Jesse Jackson. Rush Limbaugh, God rest his fucking soul. He had the Justice Brothers.
I am Jesse Jackson, and I am here to protest the criminology against George Floyd. George Floyd was killed by a white cop from an oppressive system. He put his knee on that Negro's neck, and we are going to stop it. Here we are. Sorry about that. I got a little too close to the speaker on the PA system.
Fuck Jesse Jackson. Fuck him right in his stupid ears. These people are race pimps, the race hustlers.
No introductions necessary. They devote their whole lives to addressing issues about social injustice and hate crimes. And they are here today asking me to show you mercy. And I take that seriously. I find it profound. I take it seriously. And I know that they're in a better position than myself to educate the public about that topic, about the damage you've done to real victims of hate crime. And I am confident that because of all the attention that you've garnered here on this case, that they are going to seize the opportunity and they will educate the public and they'll be talking about this.
Drex, where's my Negroid pass? I need your help. America still needs your help. We need Negroid passes handed out. Drex, come save us.
And they'll try to mitigate some of the damage that you've caused to real victims of hate crimes, and they're better positioned.
Jesse Jackson wrote a letter in support of Jussie. The NAACP, no, wait, I don't think the NAACP did, but Jesse Jackson wrote a letter supporting the fake hate crimer.
To do it than I am, and I will defer, but I will acknowledge that you have done some real damage.
For only $20 a month, you too can support this Negroid baby who's headed to prison. God rest and have mercy on his anus. Justice Smollett will be prosecuted and convicted, and for the low price of $20 a month, you could keep him alive and well-fed in prison.
I want to talk about your premeditation. Again, I've been a criminal judge for many years, and I know that people end up where you are right now, awaiting sentencing on their criminal trial. And how did they get to court? How did that happen? There's some people that wake up in the morning, they have no intention of doing anything wrong. They're not looking to do anything criminal. It's the last thing on their mind. But there are crimes of impulse that happen. Road rage, a barroom fight, bumping into somebody, words are exchanged that somebody finds insulting, and sometimes weapons are available, and the results can be horrific, and they can be permanent. And people are sitting
Not
here and they're
permanent
wondering
enough.
themselves, how did I get here? I wasn't looking for trouble, but trouble just seemed to find them in crimes and impulse. And when I'm saying that I have to put the person and the crime together and try to mix them and understand who it is that committed this
Mixed
crime
like Jesse's
within the sentencing
genetics.
range,
For
and
just
that's part of my
$20 a
job
month,
to do.
you can
I
support this
consider how
mixed
the person
baby,
got here. So, but this is
confused
not a
about
crime of
which
impulse.
genetic
There are also crimes of
he
opportunity.
wants to be.
Walking down the street and somebody they left the keys in the car with the motor running.
Keys in the car.
They take the car. Or they're in the department store and they see someone put the credit card on this side and they go
Card.
adjust their baggage on the other
Get
side
bears.
and grab the credit card. Those are crimes of opportunity. They didn't wake up thinking they're going to commit a crime, but something just looked too tempting to them. They use very bad judgment, and then they get in trouble. They get caught, and here they are. But then there are crimes of premeditation, Mr. Smollett. That's what you are all about here. Crime of premeditation. You did wake up in the morning thinking you were going to do something bad and something wrong. And I know more today about this than I ever did before, that there are some wonderful things about you.
good.
And I know how people, they cherish you and they cherish your relationships and they cherish the good works that you've done. And they love you sincerely and deeply. And they're not faking, they're not lying when they talk to me about their feelings about you and the good things that you've done. But you had that dark side, and this is what happened here.
Dark side,
You
very
prevented this
racist.
case to an extreme that's amazing. You wrote a script. The script involved words. You're going to encounter me on the street, yell out empire, N-word, F-word. You're going to hit me.
Empire,
Beat me up. You're
Nigeria,
gonna beat me.
freedom.
You're going to put a noose around my neck. That's a script that you wrote. Now, it's not a good script, especially for Streeterville in Chicago. It's questionable, but it's a script that you wrote. You picked out the actors. You chose the Oceandero brothers. And why did you do that? Because you knew them. You trusted them.
He was gay with them,
They
literally.
idolized you. You're an established actor in a serious television production of Empire.
He was taking him to Pound Town
They
on
were
the
kind of
reg.
hangers on there. They're trying to get jobs as extras, maybe a little speaking part here and there, but you were mentoring them. You were helping them. They wanted your advice. They would do anything for you. They thought you were one of the greatest people in the world to know and that you could help them in their careers. They're in great shape. Gave you a little advice about
love.
diet and exercise, but they idolized you and they would have done anything for you. And you chose them because you knew that you could trust them, that they were loyal to you. You paid them advance by check.
Loyal. Let's talk about loyalty.
Not necessarily a good
Not some
idea.
shyster
It was
lawyer.
your idea. It was part of the plan that you would pay them in advance. And the check was out there. The check was shown into evidence. That was part of
He
your
paid by
premeditation.
check. What a
You
fucking
chose
idiot.
a date.
Pay
You chose
cash.
a time. You chose a location. You had props procured. You gave them a $100 bill and had them get the supplies. What are the supplies in this case? Get masks. Nobody should see you. We're going to say that you're white, but obviously the Oceandero brothers are not white.
They're blurple.
Cover your faces. in
Really
masks.
fucking
You're
dark.
going to have a red hat because that's going to indicate MAGA country. You're going to get a rope they're going to use as a noose. You're going to procure some bleach. You're going to have the supplies. And then you had all that together, and then you did rehearsals. You picked them up and you did drive-bys. You
Well, they
drove
had to
around
block
and
it
around
out.
the block.
They
You
had to
picked
do
them
their
up in Lakeview,
blocking.
in their neighborhood, and some distance away, you went to Streeterville where you were living, and you showed them. You're going here, you're going there, and you're going over the lines. You're going over the script with them so they would memorize the script. You're indicating which brother. You're the one that's going to hit me. You're the one that's going to put the noose around my neck and pour the bleach on me. This was planned. This was premeditated to the extreme. And I find that your extreme premeditation in this case is an aggravating factor today. Let's talk about the incident itself. It's all set up. The Oceandero brothers are on board. Your plane is running late. Now, you had a chance right then and there to think, okay, I'm really late. I'm 4 hours late. This can't go down. It's freezing in Chicago. We're on the verge of a polar vortex. You might have just thought about it and said, maybe it's not in the cards. Maybe the karma is wrong. I shouldn't be doing this. But no. You double down. You start communicating with the brothers through social media. Now, whether it was by texts or chats or Instagram, public or private, one way or another, you kept in touch with them. And there was some quibbling about the specifics about how you kept in touch with them, but they knew what time you were coming in. And now the time is pushed back to 2 o'clock in the morning in the freezing cold weather. It's double digits below zero at 2 o'clock in the morning. You have to have a reason to be out on the street. And the reason you chose is you come up with the story that you need.
You don't have to
get
have a
some eggs
reason
and
to be out on
Walgreens
the
at 2
street,
o'clock in the morning. Not
Judge.
that you're going to go to Subway and get a sandwich and the salad and get something to eat at 2 o'clock in the morning in the freezing cold. You did one more thing. You got the Oceandero brothers. Now they're on board with you. You're using them as your patsies. You have your friend, you get your friend Brandon on the phone, and here's a man.
I legit forgot the auto tuner was on.
You're not sure what town he's in, if he's in Australia or not, but you get him on the phone, and he's going to be your patsy also, because he's going to listen and be around on the phone to hear that you're being attacked by somebody. Now, he doesn't know what's going on. That's really not an attack, but he's going to be able to corroborate your story. So you're getting that together. You got Brandon on the phone. You're out on the street, ostensibly to get some Subway. You get some Subway.
Got to get that Subway.
This is supposed to take place. Now,
Looking
the
for
Oceandero
Jared's
brothers,
footlong.
they're getting ready too. And they're doing
Hey,
this.
where can I get a
because you
2
wanted them to
a.m.
do it on the
Subway?
scene.
Fuck me.
No cell phones involved. Make sure nobody sees you get there. And what they think is some kind of clever way of getting there, they have an Uber pick them up from their home in Lakeview. They take the Uber to Old Town. It's a different neighborhood. They get out of the Uber
Gonna
and they get into a
take
cab.
my Uber to the Old
Now, the
Town
cab
Road.
is supposed to go to Streeterville, but not to the scene where this is supposed to happen, a few blocks away. So nobody actually sees them get out of the cab, and this works out the way you want it to work out. So they get there a little early. They're walking around. They're sitting on a bench for a minute. But at 2 o'clock, the time that you said this is supposed to happen, at the place you said it was supposed to happen, at the moment you said it was supposed to happen, they appear. So you're talking to Brandon on the phone. You have your Subway in hand, and they follow the script. Hey, Empire, word with the letter N, word with the letter F. There's a scuffle.
Nigeria, freedom.
They pour bleach on you. Brandon's listening to this. They attempt to put a noose around your neck during the scuffling. You're getting a little abrasion and scrape on your face.
Oh, you got a little scraped
A
up.
car goes by, and the brothers take off. They leave. They never did get the noose around your neck. So what do? You gather your belongings. You get the cell phone. You're talking to Brandon. Hey, did you get jumped? Yeah, I got jumped. I got mugged. Did you hear what happened? You're trying to make sure that he heard the words that were spoken. You grab your food, and you took the noose that they never did get around your neck, and you put it around your own neck. I repeat, you put the noose around your own neck.
Well, they just didn't do it right.
You go home. Video footage shows that when you walk into your residence, you have this noose dangling loosely around your neck.
You know it's fucking Chicago because you can hear the police sirens in the background in the courthouse. Gah. I thought, so when I was on the law panel earlier, I thought that was someone else's background going on. I thought that was like, Joe or something because he's in New Jersey.
You go into your apartment. The police are called. The police arrive. The first officer on the scene is Chicago Police Officer Mohammed Beg.
Muhammad.
In full uniform. The first responder of the first responders. His body cam is on. He sees you. And now he sees that noose is around your neck, but it's not the way that
I sees
you walked
you,
into the
and I
house. Now the
want you.
noose is up at your throat. You've maneuvered the noose, and you've made it look worse than it was.
I mean, it couldn't be. We made it look worse than he was. He put it on. It wasn't. It never was.
This is part of your plan. Officer Beg asks a simple question. What
Did he say Officer Baguette?
happened? And then you start to lie. And you haven't stopped lying ever since. You've been lying
Shit.
and lying and lying about this case, and that's why you're here today. You want to fake an incident on the street, try to get some attention at work, try to have somebody else feel sorry for you. That would never have got you here. The problem was you lied to the police, and you caused all kinds of consternation. You caused a major investigation to take place, which got many people involved and caused great stress throughout the city and throughout the entire community here. And that's the problem. That's why you're here now. Those were the crimes you're convicted of. Not the shenanigans out there, but the lying about it, making it up. And that's why we're here now. You repeated your lies at the hospital. 6 counts were put together. The jury found you guilty of 5 of them. One was a little bit different than the others, and I understand that. Let me say, from my vantage point, and I was obviously here at every stage of this trial, I thought the jury's verdict was accurate, correct, wholly corroborated, but what could only be described as overwhelming evidence of guilt against you.
Overwhelming
That's
evidence.
the crime you're here for, lying to the police. Well, Officer Bay took this very seriously. He said, that's a horrible thing that happened. And he started the process of police investigation. Detectives got involved. You ended up at the hospital. All things were starting to happen. And this word got out. And you're not just any person. You have a little bit of celebrity about you. You were known in some circles as a very competent actor, a really good actor in a very serious television production called Empire.
Not in any circles that fucking matter.
Because you're a celebrity and because you've been so active in all these social justice causes, and this is what is so unbelievable about this case, that you of all people are here convicted of hoaxing hate crimes. You who know better, who were out there in the world trying to be something for the good in social justice causes, that you ended up here right now like this. It's crazy. But you know people in high places, elected public officials. They reacted. You knew mainstream journalists. They reacted. You became the first page, your front page news. You're talked about in the halls of Congress. People are talking about making laws to prevent what happened to you to happen to anybody else. People on mainstream media are decrying what happened. What kind of country is this? How could they do this to Jussie? We know Jussie. He's such a gentle guy. He's the guy that was described to me by all the family and friends that I heard from today. And I believe that Jussie exists. But you use them as your patsies too. They were giving you the national pity party you wanted.
You're a patsy, and you're a patsy, and you're a patsy.
All the attention is on you. People talk about social injustice. Your name was coming up first, which is exactly what you wanted. But you used them. If anything, people in those positions, elected public officials, mainstream journalists, they're credible.
Ron Crossman says, make sure to back John Malin's Graveyard Shift Volume 4 and Graham Nolan's giant-sized, two-fisted, manly tales. Both campaigns end at 3 a.m. Eastern Time, unbreaded. Yeah, guys, check those out. John Malin's seems to be a good dude every time. I've never talked to Graham Nolan, though. Probably fine. But if you like independent creation, independent stuff, support some independent creators, especially if you're into comic books. Izzy 2018 says, hey, Nick, is it normal for the judge to go over the narrative of the crime before the sentencing? Yes, it's just usually a lot fucking faster than this.
Ability is everything to them. And you didn't care that you might be damaging it. You did damage to them because, again, there's a side of you that has this arrogance and selfishness and narcissism that's just disgraceful. You plan work
disgraceful.
Until it didn't. We're in Chicago. You lived here for 5 years, working on the Empire show, and you have to know, as well as anybody that lives in Chicago, that Chicagoans, they love their city. They're fiercely loyal to the city, and believe me, Chicagoans know we don't all agree with each other on a lot. There are all kinds of disagreements on what our city should be, what the vision should be for the future. There's even disagreements about what our past was like. But despite all the disagreements and all the things that are not right with Chicago, it's sweet home to Chicago, to the Chicagoans. Chicagoans are fiercely loyal to their city. But Chicagoans have one thing in common that they agree on, that there's no misunderstandings. Everybody's on the same page. And that page is crime is a problem. It is a major problem. Nobody disagrees. And we know that police resources, they are valuable. They're limited. Detective resources are precious, and they cannot be squandered.
Cannot.
And what you did
Cannot.
because you were selfishly, arrogantly, and narcissistically bringing attention to yourself. It's the only reason you could have been doing such a crazy thing that you did, was you took away a lot of resources from other places, from other real victims of real crimes. You used up the police resources for your own benefit. And that's a big problem here. What you did is you created what we call around here a heater. What's a heater? A heater is a case that when it's reported to the public conscience is shocked to such an extreme that the public is demanding that the police solve this crime here, right now, right here, right now. Everything else has to take second place. The heater has to be addressed. And you created a heater. And boy, did they put on an investigation. And I know that I've been listening
You
to
needed a heater. It was a polar vortex, Judge.
Investigations for many years.
Jesse did a public
Certainly not
service.
a
He's a good
perfect
boy.
police
Didn't do
department.
nothing.
It's perhaps unfairly maligned in some respects as well. I'll match the homicide detectives here against any in the country for their competence and thoroughness.
Competence.
Not a question about that. But what they did in this case is extraordinary. I've never seen, even in some murder cases, the amount of police work that went into this investigation. You did exactly what you didn't want to happen. They put so many police resources into this. When I say what you didn't want to happen is you never wanted this case solved. You thought that somehow you'd be able to skate by and nobody would ever know what really happened here. And you're going to walk away from this. And it didn't go down like that at all, of course.
Speak faster. Get to the
So they
fucking
solved the
point.
case. And what happened? Turns out that you're not a victim of a hate crime. You're not a victim of a racial hate crime. You're not a victim of a homophobic hate crime. You're just a charlatan pretending to be a victim of a hate crime.
Wrong, you fucking judge. He is the victim of society who has created in him a knowledge that there is always a hate crime. And when one would not manifest for the police to prosecute because of the broken injustice that Cynthia believes in, he had to, by his duty, create one. He must make the hate crime that he knew was lurking there the entire time in Trump's America. Fuck everyone else.
That's shameful, especially from the family you got brought up with your family values. It's so sad. The damage you've done to yourself is way beyond anything else that can happen to you from me or any other judge that would be sentencing you in this criminal case. You are now a permanently convicted felon. Your
Who
family
cares?
who loves you and supports you. I only want to use the word forgive because forgiveness isn't even necessary. They're with you so much. They're so tight-knit, but you have to live with the fact that you really put them through a ringer. You've embarrassed your valuable friends in high places, the elected public officials, people in the media. You've embarrassed them. You have to live with that. I don't know if those relationships can be repaired. You've become toxic in your own workplace. Your career future is uncertain at very best. It was really on a rocket ship to success, and now you've turned yourself into riches to rags, and it's so unfortunate.
Riches
Your
to
very name
rags.
has become an adverb.
This motherfucker is still going to make millions of dollars a year. What are we talking about? Stop it. Stop it. Bob Piffle says, please cover the next Chi-Town trial. Mike Madigan, legendary twat. When is this? When is Mike Madigan's trial? Who is he? Email me about it. I don't know who that is. Hey, what is Rags in the chat? I see someone says, hi, Rags. Are you talking to me just for pausing all the time? Oh, Riches to Rags. That's where it came from. Damn it. I need to mod that guy so I see him.
For lying. And I cannot imagine what could be worse than that. People talk about situations where somebody's lying and trying to manipulate and maneuver a story, and your name comes up. There's, pulling a Jussie, something like that. That's awful. You're the butt of jokes. Comedians,
He's like, but I like the butt.
mainstream talk show hosts, they make jokes about you.
Oh, no.
They do
No, not
sketches
mainstream
about
talk
you.
show
I can't
hosts.
imagine anything worse than that. No, this is all self-inflicted. These are things you did to yourself.
I can't imagine anything worse than a mainstream talk show host making jokes. Really? That's what you can't imagine anything worse than that. How about you die? How about your dick gets chopped off in a farm accident? How about your eye, you go blind? How about your toes get smashed like Mel Gibson in that fucking movie Payback? Are you kidding me? Someone, a mainstream comedian told jokes about you. How can you recover? Fuck off, Judge.
This is self-damage. Well, some people may think that what you did is funny, and there's some room for humor or jokes about it.
Of course
I
there
assure
is.
you
There's
this court
always
does
room for
not.
jokes.
I don't think there is anything funny at all about hoaxing and faking racial hate crimes. Hoaxing
It's a little funny depending on how racist it is.
or faking homophobic hate crimes. I think that is disgraceful. There is nothing funny about it. There's no humor in what you did whatsoever. All because you're selfish, arrogant, narcissistic. At least you have that side in you that came out through this case, and you kept doubling down and doubling down and doubling down. It's not funny. It's not funny at all. And I'm your sentencing judge, and I don't find it funny. So where are we at?
That's a bad sign, by the way.
You're convicted of a class 4 felony. It's presumptively probationable, but we have some real serious aggravating factors here.
Yeah, aggravate me,
Your
Daddy.
premeditation, which I've described. The pain you've caused to real victims of hate crimes, which I've described. The damage you've done to the city of Chicago, I've heard. It's been talked about. I'm mindful of the city's request for restitution, and if I'm going to fashion that, consider that request, I have to fashion the sentence accordingly. And above all, the capper of all cappers, your performance on the witness stand. This could only be described as pure perjury.
Holy
you got on the
shit.
witness stand. You didn't have to. You did. You
That was
certainly have
big,
a right
by the
to,
way.
But you committed hour upon hour upon hour of pure perjury.
Pure
And I
perjury.
find-
Remember that though. When he convicts him in just a second, remember that he said the only way to describe your testimony is pure perjury. I don't think the sentence matches what the judge is talking about. Judge is talking a big game right now. Judge is like, I got a 12-inch dick. When he pulls it out, it's 3 inches. It's pathetic.
all those to be ample factors. If this court were to decide that the things you did, that any kind of probationary sentence would deprecate the seriousness of the offense and you need to go to the penitentiary, the record is clear and it would support it. But I'm looking at everything in its totality. And I agree. It's told to me today, you can't judge everybody by one bad thing they've done in their life. I don't know if it's the only bad thing, but it's the only bad thing that I'm
It's
concerned
not.
about now. And that you do have quite a record of real community service and quite a record of attaching with people. There is a lot of mitigation in this case as well.
There is no
And I'm mindful
mitigating
of pleas of
factor.
mercy, particularly from people.
There is not a single fucking actual mitigating factor. The members of the community who wrote him letters, he doesn't even have actual Chicago community support. All of his support is from fucking LA. It's from LA. This man tried to ignite a race war to get more money on a TV show when he was making $2 million a year. It is fucking horrible. This man might be responsible for the deaths of black people in retaliation by racists. Literally might be responsible for that. So he could make more money on Empire. Nothing else. Not a single goddamn other reason than I wanted more attention and more money on my already successful career where I make enough money to buy an LA house twice a year. Fuck Jussie Smollett. Judge, there is not a mitigating factor here just because a bunch of dumb motherfuckers wrote faggy fucking emails to you about why they don't believe he should be sentenced as harshly, and they literally don't know. Their agent's like, well, go ahead and write this. The lawyers reached out to us. Fuck these people. Fuck Samuel L. Jackson and his dumb fucking wife for writing their fucking letter too. And I like Sam Jackson, his dumb fucking wife.
People that are in the arena of dealing with social justice issues, that are fighting, seriously fighting, not playing around, not doing games like you were doing, but seriously fighting for matters involving hate crimes of all sorts. And they're asking you for mercy as well. So I'm trying to consider who you are as a person, how you got here, how somehow you strayed away from your family values.
His lawyers literally gave them templates to write their letters. That's what happened in this. His lawyers gave him templates to write letters, and they did, because probably they have some contractual provision that they're supposed to cooperate when a studio says whatever, and they did it. And we're supposed to believe that somehow matters in any way. Well, Jesse's fighting really hard for the cause. What cause? The man faked a hate crime. There is no fighting for the cause when you fake a hate crime. All you're fighting for the cause is irrelevant, and it goes right in the asshole of whatever idiot is walking by.
You let that dark, narcissistic, selfish, and arrogant side come out, and you persisted with it for years on this case. I'm fashioning the following sentence, and here's your sentence.
Get
I'm
sentenced.
sentencing you to 30 months felony probation, and the probation is going to be to this court. You're going to be allowed to travel wherever you want. You do not have to live in the state of Illinois. You can report by phone. I know.
That is so fucking lenient right there. Right there alone is so fucking lenient. Why would you ever be in Illinois ever again? Just go to LA.
I know that if you're going to try to make a living and do some of the things you do, you may have to go to other places.
You may have to travel the entire fucking earth and, live a life of luxury, but I'm not going to stop you.
In New York and Los Angeles, you can do those things. You will pay restitution to the city of Chicago in the amount of $120,106. You are fined $25,000, which is the maximum fine. And you will spend the first 150 days of your sentence in the Cook County Jail. And that will start today, right here, right now.
Okay, so he does get 150 days. So he gets 5 months in jail, in county jail. And then he has 30 months of felony probation. And he has to pay roughly $145,000. There you go. There's the sentence. There's the sentence. And realistically, in my opinion, it's way too light. However, for this type of crime, for someone without a significant criminal history leading up to it, it's actually a pretty harsh sentence. The whole "you can live wherever you want" is kind of a special accommodation and nod to the fact that he's a celebrity, and that's bullshit to me. Make him live in Illinois. No one wants to do that.
Mr. Smollett, though the jury found you guilty and I've sentenced you as I have, you have the right to appeal the findings and rulings of the court or ask your sentence to be modified. To do those things, you need to file a notice of appeal in writing within 30 days. You may also file a motion to modify your sentence, which would have to be filed in writing within 30 days. Anything not stated in those filings are waived for purposes of appeal. You cannot afford lawyers or transcripts. They would be provided free of charge. Do you have any questions?
No, I would just like to say to Your Honor that I am not suicidal.
Okay.
Okay.
I am not suicidal.
Okay.
I am not suicidal. I am
Okay.
innocent, and I am not suicidal. If I did this, then it means that I stuck my fist in the fears of Black Americans in this country for over 400 years and the fears of the LGBTQ community. Your Honor, I respect you and I respect the jury, but I did not do this, and I am not suicidal. And if anything happens to me when I go in there, I did not do it to myself, and you must all know that.
You must know it.
I respect you, Your Honor. I respect your decision. Jail time.
A little bit not okay with the jail time.
Okay. Mr. Uche, let me inquire, are there any post-sentencing motions you care to present right now?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, Ms. Widow.
The defense would wish to present a motion to reconsider sentence
All right.
and file it in Stanter.
All right. It is timely filed.
Thank you, Judge.
And let
It's timely filed. I don't give a shit.
me say, I've obviously considered the sentence at great length. And it's timely filed, so it's preserved for purposes of appeal. Motion to reconsider sentence is respectfully denied.
Denied immediately.
And is there another, one second, Randy. Anything else? Just a second. Is there going to be a notice of appeal filed?
Yes, Judge, we filed a notice of appeal. We're going to be emailing to the clerk right now, to the office.
They already wrote their notice of appeal, of course. They probably have their appeal brief already written. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to play this Peeing Wasted Lawyer song. I'll be right back.
He drank a fair bit and then realized that his bladder can't handle the liquor inside, leaving us with his chair while he runs up the stairs, hoping the stream doesn't suddenly die. While we are waiting, we'll be laughing at you. The drinking along is what most of us do. The chat is united, getting excited. What you have for us when your feeling is through. When you have a small bladder and no sphincter control, freedom of liquor doesn't mean freedom from soaking your drawers. Now you're washing your hands and you realize that you've forgotten to scrub both the front and the back. Then you'll grab a quick bite, kiss your lady goodnight, and remember to thank her for all of the snacks. Whoa, water will cure your hangover. Oh, just drink some when the stream is over. When you have small bladder and no sphincter control, freedom of liquor doesn't mean freedom from soaking your drawers. Soaking your drawers.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. Sorry. Small bladder, no sphincter control. It's a real fucking problem. Okay. Jackson Kai says, having watched just a few trials with you, I can imagine a lot of things worse than a comedian making fun of you. It's like this judge has never seen a defendant who ate his parents. All right. Let's be done with this. Let's be done with this. There's apparently some interview post. Oh, you want to see? Check this out, guys. Look at that. How could you not want to see the ABC7 legal analysis from Gil Soffer? Look at that. That looks like it's going to be good. Let's hear 5 seconds of this.
Some $1,000 was ordered repaid. That, I think, was in the cards no matter what.
So his lawyers wanted to take some action right there.
She sounds exactly like Trisha Takanawa from Family Guy. Listen to this. Listen to this chick talk.
I think was in the cards no matter what.
So his lawyers wanted to
ran into
take some action right there immediately, and obviously they were denied to do so.
They got to stop teaching this shit in journalism school. It's terrible. It is terrible. And I will be the Asian reporter on the scene. Fucking hell. Oh, okay. We're done with that. So I have this other story. Melinda Scott updates. I don't think it's way fucking late. I didn't think it was going to go this long. Let's do the quick fatal racial slurs real quick, because it's always good when a gamer word is so powerful that it ends up killing you, right? That is when you know you really nailed it. You're like, yeah, you dead. Beautiful. So let's hit that real quick, and then we'll wrap up the show. I'll retitle it. We'll get to Melinda Scott's updates sometime soon here. We've got unbreaded. Don't worry. Wait, she's literally the person the character is based on? Oh no. That's hilarious. All right. Customer's racial slur drew a fatal punch, and the sentence is house arrest. House arrest. Imagine you kill a motherfucker You're like, bitch, and they die. And you just get house arrest. A plea deal and a confrontation at a Dunkin' shop in Tampa, Florida. They had to change the name from Dunkin' Donuts because what they make isn't actually donuts. They make shit. Holds the defendant accountable while considering the totality of the circumstances, the prosecutor said. The totality of the circumstances is someone called him an N-word, so he killed the man. He killed a 77-year-old man because he called him the N-word. Well, I guess we wanted to consider the totality of the circumstances, so what we did was we went ahead and just let him be on house arrest. That's fine. A black manager of a Dunkin' shop in Tampa, Florida, who fatally punched a 77-year-old white customer last year. Get Curtis Reeves on the case. He would have solved that problem. After he repeatedly used a racial slur in addressing him, was sentenced this week to 2 years of house arrest. Prosecutors said 2 years? That's it, just 2 years. The employee, Corey Pujols, who was originally... charged with manslaughter, pleaded guilty to the lesser charge of felony battery under a plea deal that will allow him to avoid jail time. Under the sentence imposed on Monday by Judge Christine Marluski of the 13th Judicial Circuit Court, Mr. Pujols, 27, will be on probation for 3 years after he completes his house arrest. He must also perform 200 hours of community service and attend anger management courses. The fatal confrontation took place last May 4th when Von L. Cook, a store regular, began berating staff members after being upset with the service he received at the store's drive-through window, the authorities said. After being told several times to leave, Mr. Cook parked, went into the shop, while Mr. Pujols told another store employee to call the police. Prosecutor said the pair argued, separated by a counter. Then Mr. Cook used a racial slur, causing Mr. Pujols to walk through a swinging door and come face to face with Mr. Cook. Prosecutor said, we all know that is how racial slurs work. When you say a racial slur, it is like a lure or summon spell, and they immediately must run through a swinging door. That it has to happen. Mr. Pujols warned the victim not to say that again. Don't say that again, motherfucker. Prosecutor said the victim repeated the racial slur and Pujols immediately punched him in the jaw, which caused the victim to fall and hit his head. Mr. Cook died 3 days later. According to a police report, Mr. Cook never touched or tried to strike Mr. Pujols. Efforts to reach Mr. Pujols and his lawyer on Wednesday evening were not immediately successful. In a statement on Wednesday, Andrew Warren, the state attorney for Hillsborough County, said the plea deal holds the defendant accountable while considering the totality of the circumstances, the aggressive approach, and despicable racial slur used by the victim, along with the defendant's age, lack of criminal record, and lack of intent to cause the victim's death. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Moreover, Mr. Warren said it would have been a difficult case to win at trial given Florida's legal landscape. Would it? If you can shoot someone for throwing pot. Oh, you motherfucker! You motherfucking liar! This is such bullshit. If you can shoot someone, here's how you know this guy is an ass-eating cuck right here. If you can shoot someone for throwing popcorn at you under Florida's flawed stand your ground law, Mr. Warren said, referring to a recent case, it would be hard to convince a jury that a person's not allowed to hit someone who instigated confrontation by storming into their business and barking the most aggressive, inflammatory term in the English language in their face. No, it isn't. Under Florida fucking law, you fucking cuck. Words are not provocation, not instigation, and not justification for violence. Mere words are not enough. It's a jury instruction, you fucking fairy. What are you talking about? These motherfucking cuck prosecutors get so goddamn butthurt when they lose a case on self-defense. They do this every fucking time. Every fucking time. This is the prosecution's revenge for self-defense, is they go, fine, I'll let a murderer walk and see how these fucking conservatives like it. They do it every single case. They did it after Trayvon Martin. They have done it every time. Every time someone gets off on a self-defense case, somebody fucking walks and they always reference the self-defense case. Every time. Let's see. Let's see who Mr. Warren is. Andrew Warren, Hillsborough County. Let's take some fucking bets. How much ass has this man eaten? All of it. Just all of it. Let's see what we can learn about Andrew Warren, Hillsborough County. Let's see. He is state attorney for Hillsborough County, Florida, criminal justice reformer, husband, father, former federal prosecutor, native Floridian, and proud American. Garbage. Here we go. This will be good. This is from his Twitter. I'm disgusted to see the passage of the Don't Say Gay bill at a time when our state needs to unite to solve important problems. This bill fosters prejudice and hatred, and our society already has enough of both. We deserve elected leaders who care more about public policies that help Floridians thrive, or help Floridians than partisan tricks that divide us. Yeah, fuck off to this guy. Let's see. What is the BBCB summit? Wait, guys, there's an organization called Black, Brown, and College Bound. It's called the BBCB Summit. Andrew Warren is very excited. Awesome to listen to one of my childhood heroes, Emmett Smith, at HCCFL Summit. After his incredible college and pro careers, so impressive to see him give back to the community. As number 22 explains, he didn't block for himself en route to Pro Football Hall of Fame. We win as a team, but it's actually the BBCB Summit. Why would you call it that? Why would you do this? Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, this guy is a partisan monster. Here we go. What a piece of shit. Here, let's do this. You gave a guy who killed someone over a word 2 years of house arrest because you were butthurt over Curtis Reeves and proper execution of Florida self-defense law. You are shit. There you go. Check this out. You are shit to let a killer walk because you were mad about a jury and lied that it had anything to do with stand your ground. Oh shit. Let's see. We'll just get rid of this part. Curtis Reeves. Eat shit. There we go. We'll add another. Oh, wait. He lost SYG hearing. Idiot. I'll figure out how to get idiot in there if I can spell. You let a killer walk because we'll just do you were mad. And lied that it had anything to do with stand your ground. He lost stand your ground hearing, idiot, eat shit. There we go. Perfect. That is a tweet. That's a tweet right there. If I do say so myself. So fucking tired of this. They did this with Trayvon Martin. Zimmerman lost didn't do the stand your ground hearing, I think is what it was. He won on normal, conventional self-defense. They always do this like, well, stand your ground is very ridiculous. Michael Drejka, the cop, refused to prosecute Michael Drejka at first. He's like, well, he'd win under the stand your ground and castle doctrine, which he obviously wouldn't because Michael Drejka was a fuck up. Michael Drejka was a fucking moron who talked himself right into prison, said all the wrong things, and based on what he said, if we take him at his word, he was guilty. Based on Michael Drejka's state of mind, he was guilty. And then the cop tried to misrepresent it. Well, we're not going to charge him because he would win under stand your ground. But he didn't. That was bullshit. That was a lie. These politically motivated prosecutors can get fucked, except they'd like it too much. I hate these people. I hate these people. Wouter Van Putin says victim was a pedophile, though. Look it up. Not an issue in the case. If he killed a pedophile, hashtag based and red pilled. Doesn't change the outcome that this guy let a killer walk. He's letting a killer walk because he's mad about self-defense. And look, he may have deserved to die as a pedo, but that doesn't mean you get to kill him. Don't try it. Don't try it. You'll go to prison. You'll go to prison. This guy won't. You have to. The only way you won't go to prison is if there's a bullshit attorney mad about a different self-defense case. Let's see. Okay. All right. Here we go. Next, let's do some super chats, then we'll wrap up the show. Sheep City and says, Jussie, if anything happens to me, I did not do it to myself. Me, Jussie didn't grape himself. Snuggle Struggle, I am not suicidal. Now, isn't that a statement a bit ironic? Who are the people that keep getting oddly Minecrafted at home with 2 in the back of the head, in prison with cameras out of commission? A certain foundation? Cynthia says, so my kid got suspended today in violation of community guidelines of retaliating. She blocked a kid from a private text chat. New York City private school. I may need to poke my eyes out and become a conservative. Cynthia, despite all your sins, we will take you. We will take you. But don't become a conservative, please. Please don't do that. Don't do that. Nobody wants more conservatives. Conservatism is very 90s. Conservatism is Lindsey Graham. No. We want libertarians. Small L, not big L, not capital L. Capital L libertarians are really weird. They're broken people. We just want people who believe in freedom, personal accountability. That's what we want. That's what we want. We'll take you. You can live your terrible degenerate life all you want. Just don't fuck with mine or anybody else's. That's what we want. Because we can all be on the same side. You can have your worldview all you want, as long as you don't put laws over me, ruining my life. And I won't do it to you either. Because I love you. Platonically. Okay. Let's wrap up. We've got a bunch of chats to go through on both Rumble There's one on Odyssey and then back on YouTube. So on Rumble, let's do those first. Kyan Rennell says, hey, Nick, I'm an amateur YouTuber who lurks in the chat. I have 20 subs and a video with almost 30,000 views. You should stream on my channel Friday night and forgo your own stream like with Nina yesterday. Your channel wouldn't be monetized. So no, I won't stream with you. Sorry. I help people make money. Spatula says, hate is the worst when someone hates you for being in one of these specific politically influential categories. Hitman 1 says, I'm against hate crime except for sentencing and should apply for all groups of people, e.g. ... If a serial killer murders blondes and there's evidence he targeted blondes, then there should be an order for protection for blondes. It may result in prison or house arrest. Yes, don't worry, guys. I will still do unbreaded. I'm not forgoing it. Hitman 1 says, correction, serial assaulter. Joe Schmo 1 of 3. Seriously, the fact that the judge roasted Smollett with a juice box in view of the camera makes me question the scriptwriter for the simulation. SC Medic 71 says, seems like Juicy will have a little while to think about the error of his ways. I just hope that he doesn't beat himself up too badly. He'll hire someone else to do it. Imagine being so lazy you can't even beat yourself up. And yes, we have 2 pages to do of unbreaded tonight. I remember. Conserva something sent 3 shots of whiskey. Thank you. And El Gonza 1000 says, where's my unbreaded, you breaded ass bitch? Don't worry. I got you. I got you, fam. I got you. Where is my unbreaded manifesto? Hold on. Here we go. Let me get the random number generator. Let me get that shit. Hey, DJ, spin that shit. 59 for 59, baby. Unbreaded. All right, here we go. We're going to do page 59. Touch down on paper, unbreaded. Right. Remember, it's 59 of the page number of the file, not of the page number on the paper. On paper. World, planet, and universe, multiple planets, as many as he wishes. The Mad Harris doesn't worry that an unworthy man might be reading his mind. There is nothing in the unworthy man to recognize as a mind. The Mad Harris doesn't care if the unworthy man reads everything he has ever thought, said, or done. The Mad Harris is so perfect and content in his soul that he doesn't worry about what the unworthy man is, does, or might do, as none of it matters. The Mad Harris knows he is more powerful than the unworthy man. The Mad Harris knows that his destiny is already killing all unworthy men. The Mad Harris has already stated and is carrying out this without trying, just by being the Mad Harris. The Mad Harris knows that different tribes use messages in the coding of children's entertainment to put ideals in the minds of children. The Mad Harris knows that a child's TV show can put all sorts of ideas in kids' heads that the parents are unaware of. So Binger families might be diligent about the media that they allow their kids to be exposed to. In the age of internet media, specifically social media, they can put all sorts of ideas in the child's mind that the parent might think that the child thought of by his or herself. Then the parent thinks the child is acting out their soul's truths when really they're just copying stuff that was programmed on TV. The Mad Harris never say whatever cute, sweet, or nice. The Mad Harris hates people who end their sentences with right to sound smart, like you need to assume they're correct and agree with them. The Mad Harris requires violence against the unworthy man because Binger men still feel pressured to speak in unworthy voices and write in unworthy vocabulary. We need Binger, autocorrect that is run by Binger. People alone is part of Binger culture. The Mad Harris knows that an unworthy man will brush it off aggressively to seem like he's right, and you're an overhyped Binger person who can't manage his emotions or get his shit together. This is no longer a credible way of treating Binger. Fuck all you fake ass fuck. Everybody know, the Mad Harris know, the unworthy man don't do shit, and it is Binger that run everything about this world. When Binger stop paying the unworthy man energy and deference, the whole world improves for the Bingers tribe, and the unworthy man disappears forever. Don't call it an unworthy genocide, call it Matt Harris victory. The Matt Harris knows this. I'm him. I'm the Matt Harris, period. To my people, Binger need to become militant about technology. Our spiritual needs need to be kept separate. Kept to ourselves so we can invest technology to magnify and protect our own wealth. If you listen to the unworthy man, you don't own you. You just owe him time and deference. The Matt Harris own himself. So he works for himself. Segregation is sometimes unworthy's attempt anyway. So the only thing Binger needs to build, they own technology. Shit, I'm losing it. I'm losing the flow. So fucking white. I ain't saying famous Binger music artist never said no Uncle Tom shit on stage. I ain't saying famous Binger leader wasn't worth shit anyway, but we need Binger tech sector, not a few on the payroll. Our own sciences, fuck sharing directions. We need Binger infrastructure, military, and superior weapons to nuke all nukes of our own patrol to planet. Binger need to never, ever give up the power of intimidation. I don't care if it's how we in person, our intelligence, our wealth of, or our assets. Binger needs to apply our specific souls towards inventing our own. Our spirituality needs to be kept to ourselves so we can invent technology to magnify and protect our own wealth. Binger need to become militant about our technology. Binger should not obey the law in a country where they are oppressed. Fuck obeying authorities that go out of their way to oppress. Fuck giving energy to pleasing institutions and individuals who actively do their best to piss us off and do not do enough to serve and benefit Binger. Binger should answer to themselves. The law is that I will get mine. I will get my dreams. I will accomplish what I want. I will have what I need, and I will not be stopped by anyone. I especially will not be stopped by anyone who is not serving me. If someone wants me to tell me how to, whew. Okay. Next. 336. Here we go. This is question is always how you read every one of these pages. Woo-hoo-hoo. First word, baby. First word. First word. Binger got exhausted somehow. Binger got tired, which is bullshit. That is bullshit. Everything about it is wrong. Binger should have always been ready to die and kill for it. It is better to die than live as a coward. It is better to die than to live next to the cracker and the Jew. It is better to die than to live next to a prick. It is better to die than to have to look the white man in the face every day and act like your friends. It is better to die than to coexist. That's really what we're getting at. Coexistence is the problem. Society is the problem. Living with them, living surrounded by them is the problem. Living surrounded by them makes a man docile. It makes a man weak. It makes Binger worse than he is naturally. It takes everything away from a man. It takes a man less than a man. It makes a man share things that should never be shared. It makes a man fit into an unworthy existence of himself. When a man is born, he is unlimited. The Binger comes into reality unlimited by anything. The Binger is born already knowing everything he needs. There is already everything contained in the Binger. What the fuck does the Binger ever need? Anything he can think of manifests to him, and all of reality is whatever he wishes. Get blood cancer! It is ended when the Binger is programmed by the Jewish TV and radio, the likes in the media, and Uncle Tommy's in this bullshit system, which is a setup. Most of all, the education, fuck you, bitch. This bullshit is most of all propaganda. Coexistence is fed to Binger, force fed so that blood cancer. Binger need violence to assassinate his enemies. The Binger needs to rejoice that his father is dead. The Binger must rejoice. All the men in his family are dead. He doesn't need morons to tell him anything. The Binger needs to rejoice in the blood of enemies and no one can advise him. The Binger must rejoice that being an old tenured white man in a university just means you made it to the top of a bullshit pecking order that anyone could do if they are willing to miss out on life. They rob Bingers of everything, even though Binger already were robbed of everything. Binger already owned everything, and still they are robbed today. They are already owed all of this economy, and still, in order to keep Binger in the dark, they pretend the Binger owes something rather than owning it all. They pretend that Binger owed more than that. Binger must catch up so that Binger don't catch on. Transferred schools and all the girls love me. I've never gotten so much attention in my life. When I finally transferred, when we moved, it was a nice realization into what I'd been missing out on. Realization, it opened up and all the bitches was busting around the corner to get to me. Bitches were competing. I could have had any bitch in the school that I wanted because I was that exotic new Binger from.
I'm bread.
There we go. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. Well, there was our daily unbreaded. It is over. It is over for tonight. Where can I find this spiritual text? It has been obliterated from the internet. G soap. All hail the divine wisdom of the Negronomicon. No, G soap, don't do it. Oh my gosh. There you go. It's been scrubbed from the internet, man. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's somewhere. I have it saved locally because people don't want crazy manifestos out there. They don't want it. I got to get Eric July for the unbreaded segment. Well, Eric July will be on tomorrow. If he wants to do the unbreaded segment, if he wants to help out with that, he's welcome to. I don't know if he'll want to or not. I don't know. I don't know what to do about it. It's always, I'm always weirded out when a guest is like, "Yeah, I want to be there for it." Like, really? It's kind of crazy, but okay. If you want to be there, I mean, I'm not going to stop you. Silky Johnson, could I email it to you if I sent you an email? Sure. Yeah. Or C Goody just posted a link in the chat for it, so you can grab it there. Okay. I think that's the segments for today. I'm gonna, like I said, I'll get rid of Melinda Scott and I'll retitle it with Boogie in there instead of Melinda. We'll do Melinda Scott very, very soon. The updates in the Melinda Scott case are really, really short. There's nothing nothing's happened other than some hearings were set and then the hearings were reversed and they're going to decide it on paper instead of unbreaded, instead of actually doing a hearing. I mean, it's really basic. But it's also really late and I'm going to go play some Elden Ring while I'm not doing a trial. So I got to get my Vidya in as much as possible. I'm going to beat that fucking Crimson Knight and that tampon tonight. And it's going to be good. It's going to be good. All right. Let's read the rest of the chats and wrap this shit up. Jay Winkler over on Odyssey says, I, Nick Ricada, dip my penis in egg and then roll it in flour. So my cock is now breaded. There you go. Will I play my Vampire Bullet Hell game again? Yeah. Mandy Karavichis says he is retarded. STFU says Juicy Epstein didn't care either. Squizgar 2322 says, does he think anyone cares about enough about him to off him? No, I don't. It's performative, but I can't imagine. Why would anybody want to kill Juicy? He's just boring. He's not a threat to anything. Bob Piffle says, one more whiskery, both in salute to the best unbreaded I've yet to see, and me dearly departed great grandfather. All right. Bob Piffle making me go through that whiskey. I do have another whiskey review. I think I missed some, so I'm trying to catch up. But I do have another whiskey review to do in the very near future. I've got this lovely bottle of Booker's 2021-01 Booker's. Is aged 6 years and 11 months and 4 days. It is 125.3 proof. It is a potent whiskey. We'll do that very soon. But just so you guys know, I have the next whiskey review liquor already here. Just keeping you informed on it. I had the 2020 version of this out in LA. I bought both 2020 and 2021. The 2020 is very good. Very good. All right, here we go. To Bob Piffle, a salute to the best unbreaded I've yet to see, and to his dearly departed great grandfather. And what a blessing it is for great grandparents to know their great grandchildren, and for great grandchildren to know their great grandparents. You're talking typically 80 to 100 years of life experience. By the time you're old enough to talk to them and understand what's going on, you're talking about the wisdom of ages and a life lived in a different era, often in several different eras at once. And that is something that not every kid gets to experience, but everyone who does values it as they age. So to Bob Piffle's great grandfather, cheers for passing on that life experience in some small way 4 generations later. Peace. Okay, here we go. See Goody. Wait, no. Ed says, are you also going to be the unprofessional in the stream, eating a Subway sandwich on stream and also talking with food in your mouth, Nikki? Shame. God, I wish. Wait a minute. Almost all those LawTube people have eaten on my stream. I will eat on theirs. See Goody says, Jussie is going to sell them cheeks for some instant coffee and some Chi-Chis. Linda Marie, maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. STFU says low-key noble fraud. Sarsurin's Day Friend says, in Wisconsin lawyer voice, Your Honor, rumor has it that Jussie has a purty mouth and was found cuddling Bubba in the bottom bunk. Cheers, Your Honor. Eric Winberg says, what the fuck is black pill? Black pill, it just means that you have been exposed to a truth that is wholly depressing about the world. That's it. Brian Scholl says, ask Eric about his male to female transition to Mercedes. Not applicable says, has had Subway today. Went fine because I ain't no P word. Crusader says, Larry Correa is coming on. Marshallah Habibi, Allahu Akbar. Please ask him to dump on George R.R. Martin. It'll be great. Trust me. As Beauty 7 says, support the People's Convoy. Flex us. Senator Ted Cruz rode with the convoy today. Let's talk freedom, Nick. Good luck to the People's Convoy. Last I checked, they were in Indiana, headed down to Washington. We'll see how it goes. Not applicable says, dude, do that voice when Joe is on. Freaking great. Oh, this one? The one where I talk like this. It's happening with Harper. Says, I feel for you on the taste shit. I lost mine for a week and a half. I was ready to end it all. Not really, but it's the worst. 8-Bit Templar says, hey, chat, I've been away for a while. Whatever happened with that Pippa interview? Look, I need to have an in-person, whatever conversation over the phone with FaZe. And I've reached out. We're just trying to get everything set up and scheduled. That's all. We're working on it. Olive Dane says, what's going on with the Zeminski trial? It was stayed. I don't know when it's going to happen. Randy's retired says, could the feds do hate crime charges for Jussie? I mean, they could theoretically. They're not going to. 2D Knight says, there's the Ryan Dukes beauty queen murder trial. I don't know what that is, but that's interesting. Maybe email about it. The feds would have trouble with a hate crime for Jussie because he didn't hate crime. He didn't take away anybody's civil rights based on their race, except his own, right? He got his own ass kicked. That's all. Brian Schultz, to be fair, kind of a lot's happened since 2019. Think of the man Jack Murphy was back then and how much he's changed since then. Well, 2019 is getting dangerously close to the time where he was still on Chatterbait having his asshole eaten. So. Oh, wait. I think that's what you're saying. But you're implying that maybe he's not doing that now. I think he's still having his asshole eaten. Mr. What? Like the French said, who doesn't like having their butt sucked? Like he's going to stop? Mr. Paul R. says, just in Jussie Smollett to serve sentence with the Taliban in Afghanistan. Cooper Chauvin says, suicidal for 5 months. He knows something. Chris Orange, thank you. STFU says, no jail time if Juicy gets MAGA country tramp stamp. He already has one. Let's not pretend. It's a little lower than the tramp stamp. You got to get all the way down to the ass cheeks for it. There's no crying in baseball. Says, don't fly Delta. They put an AF American on no-fly list for wearing an FJB hoodie. It's on Twitter and TikTok. Mandy Kravitch says, never mind, Nick. It was a plastic Walmart bag. STFU says, Anton's son was beautiful, and I think babies are ugly. Seal77 says, my brother also died from SIDS in 1978. He was 6 weeks old. Devastated to my mom. I was only 10. Oh. 3 Havoc says, but Boogie would run his mouth and dig himself a hole, so being quiet would be best for him. Devil's Advocate, some states like California protect personality rights, sort of. They're typically, like I said, the right of publicity. Fantastic Mr. Knox says, hope to dear God that those Boogie shirts fit him, unlike the shirts that Nick Ocado sells and wears, which doesn't fit. Zach Carr says, yeet. Corbin Boosh says, question, Boogie's case got pushed back 2 years. In that time, what if someone comes forward with the bullet, like came through the roof? Probably not going to matter. He would have to subsequently violate the law. That's how that will have to play out. Saturn Tube says, update on me. Disney didn't hate my idea and took the materials to look over. Now I have to wait for them to get back to me with a yes or no. Good luck, brother. Good luck. Very cool to hear. I'm glad that you got to do your pitch meeting, man. That's farther than almost anybody else on earth will ever get. So that's cool. Chris Orange, thank you for the donation. Not Heisenbear. The guy that said bad word and died was Javier the racist. Cheers. Aurelianus says, hey, Nick, just turned 29, still enjoying being a consumer of your stuff. Keep up the quality. Stay based, stay good, and peace and good health to you, your wife, and your kids. Thanks. Darth Vader says, hey, Nick, it's my birthday. Please have a shot of the good stuff on me as I cannot drink through the meds. I'm 46 today. Darth Vader, thank you. Happy birthday. Hopefully your meds are helping out, because it would be lame to be restricted without them being effective. But cheers, brother, to many, many more. Kevin Speaks on it, says, jail and prison are two different things. Not the same. Not the same. Correct. He's going to jail, county jail. I tried to make that clear. I hope I did. Walter Deadman says, Ben Franklin got hair plugs and became a judge. Walter Deadman also says, Sabaton does have a history YouTube channel. Send them a message. Peter Keith, we used to be able to message people on YouTube, and they got rid of that. It's like, damn it. Private messaging other YouTube creators was a thing you could do, and it was cool, and it's gone. Peter Key says, Nick, whiskey, or Warhammer? Pick one. I take Warhammer over whiskey. Yeah, 100%. FPS Brandino says, turned 24 today. Could I get a toast? Found you during the Rittenhouse trial and I've been inspired to go back to college and then to law school. Wish me luck. To the death of FPS Brandino, a young man just budding into life at 24, tender years old, has died in advance by choosing a career that requires law school. May he rest ever in peace of the based and red-pilled man that he was before he enters the liberal hellhole of law school and comes out either changed forever and not for good or dead. Rip. Corey Cass says, guilty in court, unfettered. Patrick Allen says, wait, Juicy is the only one posturing in a mask? Yep. DCV Titan says, there were 6 children and how many fathers? Not applicable. Judge, maybe Juicy wasn't so sincere before this. Murder Bits, Nigerians roll out. Nigerians roll out. Corrections 101 says, do Richard's voice explaining what happened in this case as a prosecutor. On a side note, the Cook County Jail is worse than most prisons now. New meaning in taking his honey buns by other inmates. Oh, shit. Well, you see, what happened was Juicy tried to lie to the entire earth about being, I don't know, racially attacked or something like that. But actually, he'd hired 2 black men, which is noble to really hire minorities. We need to be progressive about that. But he hired 2 black men for the purpose of beating up another black Jewish man, which is himself also a gay, so higher on the progressive stack than them. I mean, they're immigrants, but like pretend ones. And so they beat him up a little bit, put a noose around his neck or whatever. And then he lied about it to the police. He didn't tell them that it was him, came up with it. He also said the N-word, really offensive. There you go. Avery Tatavito says, a girl I'm talking to says she watches Legal Eagles videos. Should I just cut this off now? No. You don't have to cut it off. Because as your relationship progresses, she will follow your lead anyway. And you can save her from Legal Eagle and bring her into the light. Save her. I don't care if you bring her to this show, or if you just have her start watching sandwich making videos and laundry videos and vacuuming videos and toaster videos, whatever it is, anything other than Legal Eagle, everything other than Legal Eagle, you can lead her and she will follow, because the Bible says that's how men and women work. Cooper Chauvin says, money stops being cool at blackmail. Godspeed, Nick. It does. At blackmail, it stops being cool. Artemis Tree says, Nick, can the bros take him for round number 2? Civil court. I don't know what their damages would be. They did the shit. Probably a bad idea. Joshua Thomas says, the judge's hair says store brand. Judge Middleton. Yep. Someone says, lol, but I can fix her. Look. There are certain things you can fix, and there are certain things you can't. You can't fix a chick who's going to stab you, chop off your head, chop off your penis, and put it in a bucket. You can fix a chick who watches Legal Eagle videos, if she's hot enough. If she's not hot, just fucking leave anyway. What are you doing? Oh my God, I forgot to mention Tess Holliday has an interview on her anorexia. Oh, we were supposed to cover it today. It's a whole interview on her anorexia. It's only 3 minutes. We're going to do it soon. Luke Wee says, hey, Nick, in chat, you should check out John Ward's video called The 101% Factual Recreation of the Jussie Smollett Hate Crime. It's hilarious. Mandy Karavich says, when Nick mods you, he's basically crucifying you on a giant dick cross with 3 dick nails and a dick crown on your head. You're safe as a subscriber. Nick loves you, and we die for his sins. Tyler K, thank you for the Rush memory. I grew up listening to Rush with my dad. It's been a while since I've heard him and mentioned, and that was as a welcome bit of heartfelt nostalgia. Talent on loan from God. I argue with half my brain tied behind my back just to keep it fair. Rush is great. The New Age cuck. So Philip Bonfiglio grew up to be a judge. Good for him. Please tell me you get this reference. I have no idea who Philip Bonfiglio is. Aurelie Anus says, grew up across the street from Jesse Jackson's church. Everyone there knew he was a useless grifter. What a useless grifter. Goes to show media will hold up anyone as Cyber Taz. Usually Jesse is taking a different 12-inch at 2 a.m. DCV Titan, the subway is what did him in. You don't mock lynch a guy and work him over without stomping on it, stomping or at least stealing the sub. Exactly. David Afholter, thank you for the donation. David, different David. Shit, where'd it go? Says, Ricada Law, this was a failed psyop. This goes deeper than money. That's why he is scared of getting Epsteined. Ranger Rick, will they charge him with perjury? The judge clearly thinks he's guilty of it. Short answer, no. Most likely, no. Warrior Biatch says, are we forgetting this was done in order to do the lynching bill? BFF Kamala and Senator I am Spartacus had him do this. All are guilty. AF jail is too light. Tank Theta says, I'd rather see constitutionalists than libertarians. Well, libertarian should be a constitutionalist. I don't know what you mean by that. But again, large L libertarians, the Libertarian Party is a joke that needs to be burned at the cross. The second they said, bake the Nazi cake, we would make them bake the Nazi cake. The stupidest fucking answer I've ever heard. Why would you make a business do anything? You fucking dummy. You're supposed to be libertarian. Skullgar Thane says, late to the party, but I wouldn't put it past Jesse to actually Epstein himself after that show for another attempt at inspiring a race war. Well, have at it. Have at it. I'm not encouraging self-harm, but if he does it, I mean, that's on him. Alex Scott Thompson says, down payment to get you for a verse on my mixtape. Tyler K says, can you do a Viva impression? Not right now. I'd have to study his mannerisms a little more. Brandon Lesko says, man, I love you so much. Thank you for existing. Oh, I try. Ryoji Mata says, screw YouTube super chat censorship. Stop pushing your personal view of conservatives on all of us. A lot of us don't like Graham. No, look, I just want more people focused more on freedom than anything else. That's what I want. I'm a recovering conservative too. It's fine. Personally, I'm conservative. Politically, I don't believe in imposing my views on other people, which makes me libertarian. I impose my views on me, right? And I think that conservatives should impose their views on themselves all over the place. But I don't impose them on other people. Nick Ricada's note says Ukraine or the Ukraine. I always say the Ukraine. I always say that. I'll never, I love the Ukraine. I love the Ukraine. Kyan Rennell says, my Rumble rant about streaming with me was a joke. No, it was not. Don't lie. Wolfgang Deo says, spread jelly into your peanut butter. Love you. Gross. Joel Reese in Juicy's voice. My bunghole is not suicidal. If my bunghole were suicidal, it would be shoving a fist in the ass of every African American, of every LGBTQ plus person who would thank me for it, but then also be violated by it. I do not want to kill myself. Wolfgang Deo says, bring Legal Eagle Chick to Attorney Tom. He's better. Oh, stop. Stop it. Wolfgang Deo, I want the freedom to buy Russian shares, but the Blinks are able to buy them while I am stuck getting screwed again by the government with sanctions. Did you guys see the chart of all the purchases made by the Congress in oil futures right before the Ukraine thing? Bipartisan issue, by the way. Republicans, Democrats in the House, in the Senate, they get to insider trade on their own decisions and not on their own decisions. Insider trading isn't a crime for politicians. Fuck them. These are fucking gross people. Cynthia says, oh, so I'm not supposed to be conservative? No. Why would you? That would be a lie, right? You're like horrifyingly liberal. You can stay horrifyingly liberal as long as you don't ruin somebody else's life with your bad decisions. That's called being libertarian. Viking Buddha says, hey, Nick, I play in a band similar to Sabaton called Knights of the Forge. We have a song called Metal Law. I give you full permission to use it. Wait, what? Viking Buddha. That sounds cool. Metal Law. Not Heisenberg says, do you like Dave Smith? Invite him on. Who the fuck is Dave Smith? Is Unbreaded copyright protected, or can we do it as an audiobook? I mean, Unbreaded itself is copyright protected. It's his video. The word Unbreaded is not, I don't think. But the video is. If you're talking about his manifesto, absolutely it's copyright protected, and he could certainly exercise his rights to it. I think I'm doing fair use of it, personally. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, there we go. Dave Smith is a loudmouth libertarian. I don't know who he is. I don't know. I mean, I'd rather have Ripa on. I like young Ripa. I know I like him. I don't know who Dave Smith is. Wait, is Dave Smith, is he the guy from the Kids in the Hall? That's a different Dave. Dave something else, right? Who else we got here? Malik Foxon. Fucking hell. Says, our real quick job update, Rackets. I'm applying to Enterprise, the guys that run our fiber services, to be on their large biz coax team. Got some people who left coax small biz on the inside, and one of them is a lead. He's asking when I'm coming over. Wish me luck, dude. Good luck. Get me fiber to my house, please. Just get me fiber. I don't care what you do. Zalcor sent an A with the circle. I assume that's anarchy. There. El Gonzo says, I can change her Ricada 2022. There we go. And then finally, SD Alex 46 and 2 says, not the level of incompetence, but of intolerance. The most racially and politically self-righteous Peters rise now to their level of intolerance. Where will they do the most damage? Oh, so you're talking about the Peter principle is that people will be promoted to their level of incompetence. Now you're saying to their level of incompetence because of social justicery. Who knows? Who knows where it will end? Plead the fifth. Thank you for the donation. All right, guys, let us do it. Let's end this show. Let's go to Twitch. Let's watch. Let's play some Elden Ring, and we'll see you there. Thanks for joining me tonight. Come hang out tomorrow for Eric July, and we'll see you then. Peace. Peace.
Oh, he drinks a fair bit, but you realize that it just helps get his noggin jogging along. With his glass by his side and his kids asleep tight, we'll hear some lost-splaining tonight. With his microphone muted, we'll laugh at this boomer until he explains it's all part of the plan. Watch his face become redder as he becomes meta, raging at idiots from Twitterland. From the white shores of Maine to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed, make the law what we have now. Oh, his lady is fair, and she handles herself with the grace of one who has borne many children. As the wife of a lawman, she makes sure that he has the time and the place to provide for them there. So pour out an Ardbeg, a Balmore, a Lafroig, the spirits flow as the ones who get unemployed. So pour out a glass for the T-post on Twitter, as we hear lost blaming tonight. From the white wide shores of Nairn to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the wrong better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed to make the law what we are now. Oh, the guests are all planet folks from Dundee to Drexel. They bring their perspective and spice to the mix. But the reason we're here and the one that we cheer is the one who is showcasing us his career. Spirits flow as the ones who get unemployed. So pour out a glass for the team post on Twitter as we hear Lost Blaming tonight. From the wide shores of Nairn to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed to make the law what